If I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that back, you
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Council, right side, guarded by Adams, going to pull up, right elbow jumper, in and out, no good. Johnson with a rebound, up and in. Kamani with a follow, Hogs by 2, 50 seconds to go. Arkansas throws it into Kamani, back to Black. Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! The Razorbacks, for the third straight year, are headed to the Sweet 16, 72-71, the final over Kansas.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Matt Jones. Let's go, Matt Travis. Let's go, Arkansas. You've been going since Saturday. You don't need me to ask you to go or anything like that. How about it? How about it? What a legendary comeback. What a legendary game and a legendary performance by that Arkansas basketball team Saturday. And, man, excited for so many different reasons. Excited for those players to achieve this through an up and down season. Excited for the legacy of Devo Davis taking Arkansas to the Sweet 16 3 years in a row, along with Eric Musselman, Kamani Johnson. The list goes on and on. Happy for our listeners, our fans, and guys, I'm happy for us. We get to have a happy show throughout the week. Selfishly, that was one of the last thoughts that came into my mind after the glee sort of subsided a little bit. Started thinking to myself, you know what? We might actually have some easy shows, some fun, happy shows, instead of trying to explain this or that as to why a basketball season didn't go the way that people thought that it would have or should have or might have but didn't. But look at where it is. Look at where it is. And, man, feeling good for the fans, too. Happy for the state of Arkansas. You get that spotlight back on this basketball program again. Matt Jones, that was really something else. When I wasn't able to watch most of the first half of that game because of Arkansas baseball against Auburn, and that wasn't a game that I was just going to record and watch when I got back home, knowing full well that I probably could hear the screams from outside the window if they'd have won the game. So I pretty much started in watching that starting in the second half, and that's what you needed to see, right? And I never sat down. I don't know about you, but I was in front. I mean, I stood literally in front of the television for almost the entirety of that second half. And I don't know if I sat down the rest of the night. Where did you watch it? How did you watch it, Matt?
Phil, oh my goodness, dude. What a win. Devo madness for sure. Man, it was
Devo madness.
You know, it was one of those deals. I just kind of watched it with a buddy, man. I didn't really go anywhere to just kind of, you know, it was one of those games where you want to watch it. And like you, that second half, that's all you could do is watch Devo and his magic, man. It was I know it's madness in March, but, man, what a victory, like you said. I mean, the thing, Phil, that was so awesome is you could tell that they all cared about it. They didn't care who got the credit. They're a very unselfish team. In today's age, man, it's fun to watch. They're excited for their brother when they do something well, and it's not all about me. They really are a team. And I mean, you can't help but pull for them. And all year, that's what when we talk about it is, man, how they fight, how they don't give up, how they keep grinding, how they try, and how they believe. And you saw it. They led for less than 3 minutes of the game. And was able to end up on top, man. It was pretty cool.
I felt like, you know, the tears from Devo Davis that went national on the CBS interview post-game. I felt like that really boiled the season down into about a 90-second sound clip. And the tears the tears were difficult to keep inside yourself. I think watching that, knowing a lot, of course, all about
In-state
Devo's
kid.
career and everything he puts into it, knowing what this season has been like for him personally. I mean, look back in November, he stepped away from the team for a week. We didn't know if he was going to end up coming back to the team. I think that's got a little bit to do with those tears. I also feel like it's one thing that he said in that talk was that this team has been struggling, and we finally put it together. Like that's a thing. Yeah, you're happy for a Sweet 16. You love a win over Kansas. You love a win over a number 1 seed for the second year in a row. But it's also the feeling that it happened. The collection of talent came together to form a cohesive unit when they needed it the absolute most. Think of all the games that we would have said in the regular season, like, wow, this is a must win, for this reason or that reason. You throw out the term must win. And to have it actually happen, maybe for the first time this year, to have it happen where it literally was a must win game. This is what the season hangs upon. If we're going to define the season now, when we look back at it, next year or 3 years later or however many years in the future, a successful basketball season. Not like you rest on your laurels now, not like you rest on the idea of this is Sweet 16 okay.
Yeah, it's not over.
Like they're playing right now. They got a chance to beat UConn, make a run to the Final Four. If you win your first 2 games in this tournament, you can. I feel like you can have a chance to beat anybody.
UConn's going to be tough. Phil, I'm with you, man. That Kansas team has some real dudes, man. Some real players, some 5-star ballers, man. That KJ Adams, Jalen Wilson, man. They had their motion offense they were running. Man, they were efficient. They were tough. They kind of got out on a lead on us, and we had to focus up. It was just one of those deals, man, that we got a little lucky and hit some shots, and you got to have a little luck. And we haven't went 21 to 25 from the free throw line in our dreams. We hadn't done anything like that all year, and to step up on the biggest stage and do that, man, that was just awesome to watch, man. Pure joy to watch that Razorback team this Saturday.
Pure joy to watch Devo.
Oh, how
you've been calling him Mr. Razorback for quite a while now.
He's the guy, man. As he goes, we go. And then Tricky Ricky, man, he just the moment's not too big for him. Like if there was a guy, we've said this, Phil, or I know I have, that if we had one guy to go to the line in the game situation, I'm picking Ricky, and he made me look good because he got up there, stepped up, and made his free. Phil, that one he missed and Jordan Walsh tipped back. How quick,
gosh.
How explosive when he got that ball was he back at the rim already? I mean, he is by far one of the best athletes out there, night in, night out.
Well, offensive rebounding is one reason that they won that game. 15 offensive rebounds. Outscored him 15-2 in second chance points. Yeah, Kamani's put back. You heard the call from Chuck there as we came in here to the show. And then it's not even Walsh doesn't even get credit for that rebound. He doesn't even get credit for it. All he did was tip it, but the tip is what made the rebound.
That little spin move, he came back around, and my goodness! I mean, that's his natural athleticism. That's why your eyes light up when you watch him run up and down the court a couple times. Because you can see how athletic he is, how long he is, and he's just a baby, Phil. He's going to be so much better, but, man, what a special win, what a big win, one that we'll talk about all week, I'm sure, man, one that they'll remember forever.
Well, we got a day or so to just kind of like simmer in the glory and the joy and everything. I watched enough of UConn St. Mary's yesterday. But I'm not necessarily worried just yet about matching up with UConn.
That's going to be tough.
What's in the future? It's going to be a tough one. There's no doubt.
It's the Sweet 16. They're all going to be tough, right?
That's right. That's right. But if Arkansas can beat Kansas, if you can down a number 1
Kansas
seed
could win.
In your region,
Phil, they were good enough to win the title this year. They're defending champs. You watch that team play. What told you that? Did you not think they were good enough still to win a national championship this year? I thought they were.
I was impressed with how many big shots they hit, deep threes when they needed it to kind of quell a rally from Arkansas, which makes the Razorbacks' ability to come back and beat them when you led for a minute 43 They led for a minute 43.
We got our lull out of the way early, Phil. You know, we talk about not having a 5-minute span and not scoring, and I think we did that after we scored 2 points. We went about 4.5, 6 minutes and didn't score again for a while. What was it, like 12-4 the next time we scored again?
Well, thankfully, that was about the point where I wasn't watching because I was watching Arkansas baseball finish off Auburn.
They swept them, didn't they? They got to bring the broom out.
Yeah, they got a sweep. That's right. The win streak is now 13, heading into a midweek game tomorrow against Southeast Missouri. So, baseball team played well, got great pitching, timely hitting, literally timely hitting and pitching in timely moments is the reason that they didn't just win the series but swept it. Might have found another new starting pitcher, might have found your third baseman. But, of course, basketball sort of dominates over everything because this is just this is a great story. This is a great story. And back to Devo here for a moment. I mean, there are a lot of players that he's played with that have gone on to the quote-unquote bigger and better things. You know, guys that are already in the NBA, guys that are playing a lot in the NBA right now. You know, and you know, maybe Devo never makes it to the top level of professional basketball. I mean, he'll make a living in it somewhere. Somewhere he'll make a living.
Oh, he'd go over to France or Spain, and man, it's beautiful over there, and make a lot of money and do what you love. Yet, no question, he's gonna be able to play at the next level. That's okay. You know, can't play in the NBA. It's all right.
But there's a legacy that he leaves at Arkansas. Which I haven't lived in the state long enough to see anybody that has had this kind of legacy. But when you're part of 3 teams with all of the movement in college sports, when you're part of 3 teams in a row to make it this far, and he is, and Eric Musselman, the two of them, as far as, you know, staff and assistant coaches and players are concerned, they are the common denominator.
We get Devo back next year. I mean, it's going to be they'll hang his jersey.
So why not make it 4 in a row? Why not get a longer banner up in Bud Walton Arena before that career is over?
He's going to be in the Hall of Honor. He's going to be Mr. Razorback in the Hall of Honor for sure. Like his legacy cemented. I mean, he's a Razorback legend. But you can't help but root for him, Phil. I mean, he's such a joy. One guy that brings it every single game. You didn't have to worry about if he was going to bring it was Devo Davis. Even in the regular season, every game he brings it.
I'll bet you had to have been able to connect with those tears that he
looked
shed
real
on national television.
You know, when it looked like it was real raw emotion. I mean, you tell as a group.
Well, as a group, but also for him, like indicative of what it's like. I talked with Matt Hobbs about this in the dugout yesterday. We were just watching batting practice and talking about Devo's post-game interview. You know, that's what it looks like when you pour your heart and your soul and your being and everything that you do surrounds around trying to achieve something like this. Just think of all the early mornings, getting up before the sun is up and making it into the performance center to just start shooting and all of that. And
the fruits of his labor. He's putting the time in. You're
right.
Seeing it come to fruition. It's awesome, man.
And that's what he said. You know, all the time that we've put into it, that he's put into it, and therefore we've sort of put into it as well from afar. So, it's so exciting. And also kudos to Chuck for a chef's kiss final call. Vegas, baby.
Chuck's the
Vegas. Man. And hopefully there's a few more of those great final calls to come.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Phil, isn't it pretty cool to call a game? You know, Chuck had to be thrilled calling that game. I mean, it's just in your profession and you with a group of guys and everything, you kind of get the emotions too, man. It had to be pretty awesome.
Well, you want to perform at your best too, just
right.
like the athletes are. The difference is you don't get a chance to take a timeout when they get pulled off the floor. All right, it's a busy halftime today. We want to hear from you as we go throughout this show up until 2 o'clock. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. Connor O'Gara is confirmed to talk at 1:15. Of course, from Saturday down south, Connor's been writing heavily on the NCAA basketball tournament, so we'll get his thoughts on that. No guest in hour number 2. We usually have Mike Irwin with us right about now. We're unable to get him confirmed. We're going to give him a phone call and see if we can get Mike on halftime here in just a moment. Also want to remind you that we've got our bracket challenge up right now at hitthatline.com. And remember, your bracket might have been busted from the round of 64 and the round of 32, but you get a do-over, a real do-over, starting with this week's games at hitthatline.com. Click on Bracket Challenge, top of our webpage. Make your Sweet 16 selections before the games tip off Thursday, and it's just the same as before. You get a chance to find out how you stack up with listeners all across the state, plus all the hosts and the co-hosts and the behind-the-scenes crews at ESPN Arkansas. And there is a prize for Best Sweet 16 bracket. Go to hitthatline.com. Take care of it before the madness starts up again on Thursday, and the entries will close right before tip-off. Our March Fever Bracket contest presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, 810 Billiards and Bowling in Fort Smith, Wheels RV in Springdale, and Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. We're going to give a call to Mike Irwin, see if he's there. If not, we got your calls, we got your texts, and a lot more coming up on halftime.
The pitch is coming, swinging a fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. Going back is Napolitan, that ball's gone! That's a grand slam home run! Brady Toots just hit a grand slam home run! And the Razorbacks have taken the lead! Oh my goodness! Brady Toots just hit a grand slam home run!
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Would you like to cut your heating bills without cutting comfort, lower your utility costs, while enjoying the reliability and efficiency of a new Luxair HVAC system? Have your contractor call J&B Supply to hook you up with a Luxair system perfectly suited for your home. Luxair provides optimal comfort, energy savings, and lasting performance. J&B Supply, where the professionals go for all their HVAC and plumbing needs since 1968. J&B Supply, with locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
The inventory liquidation event, Thursday through Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Harry Robinson has combined all of their used cars onto one lot for 5 days only. Over 500 vehicles deeply discounted. Multiple lenders and appraisers are on site. If you've been turned down elsewhere, Harry will get you financed. Cars as low as $49.95. No payments for 90 days. And nobody will pay you more for your trade. The inventory liquidation event, Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Burton Pools and Spas has built over 12,000 pools and installed more than 8,000 hot tubs, making the Burton family more than 20,000 members strong. Join the Burton family during our hot tub and swim spa closeout sale. All 2022 models must go. Save up to $37.50 off hot tubs and save up to $7,000 off swim spas with financing available. Stay healthy, have fun, and spend more time together with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton, we do more than install hot tubs. We build long-term relationships.
Is your heating system leaving you out in the cold? Funny smells? Grinding noises? Or just plain not keeping you comfortable? If it's time for a new heating and air system, you deserve the best. Get a complete Paschal system replacement starting at only $99 a month. Don't settle for good when you can have the best. Schedule today at gopaschal.com. Professional people, professional service, Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The cold and flu seasons are here, and Law's Drug Store has what you need to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all the over-the-counter cold and flu remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointments for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Wheels RV wants you to to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got Dean and Durham on the phone with us right here. Dean, how are you? Thanks for calling Halftime. What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a thought. Firstly, when Matt said just pure joy about the win, it was pure joy. You know, I was watching it at work. Thankfully we were slow and got to watch the whole thing, and everyone was just yelling at the top of their lungs at the end. But I had some thoughts about the big guys, and obviously Kamani Johnson playing is, you know, just a jump start, always an energy, and he played a really great game. But when Makai got into foul trouble, I was surprised that Mikel didn't play. And then when I looked back, he didn't play at all. You know? And that really kind of surprised me, specifically with the foul trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was happy that Kamani was playing. You wanted the other Mitchell to play a little more, I think, but he had Jordan Walsh out there. I just didn't see it. I didn't see a spot for him, really. Like it was one of those points with Kansas that I don't know if we could have had both those Mitchell brothers out there together, the way we matched up.
It's not that I wanted two big guys out there. Just when I looked back to see that he had 0
Oh, I
minutes,
got you.
really.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Is his knee been acting up? I heard something about Nick Smith's knee was acting up a little bit. How's the Mitchell's knee? Because I know his knee was hurt during the season.
Yeah, he had a thing too. But I think we're just looking for a certain attitude from a player, and right.
That's what Kamani's bringing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what Kamani.
No,
as long as he
agree
can stay on the
100%.
court, that's the thing. I mean, he's usually in foul trouble. Sorry about that, Dean. Go ahead.
And also, you know, Jalen Graham got in for those 5 minutes, and he gave up that one easy pass, and Kansas got the dunk, and then he was out the rest of the game. I mean, it's very clear defense is the key for him, and that's about it, really.
Dean, I appreciate the phone call. Yeah, I mean, Graham doesn't give you that kind of attitude around the rim unless it comes to him scoring, you know, or making a move with the ball. And I mean, there's just something about Kamani Johnson on the offensive glass. If rebounding is all about an attitude, offensive rebounding is more about attitude and effort. You know, I mean, and gosh, 6 offensive rebounds, 19 minutes. It's a lot of production from a guy you're putting him in for pretty much for that reason, because he's not a dynamic offensive player. I mean, he sets pretty good screens. He's not bad passing the ball in short windows. But
he's just a menace down there.
He's out there rebounding and presents an attitude.
Exactly right. Like, he gets under their big guy's skin a little bit and kind of takes them out of their game. And whatever you can do, you got to have a couple players like that on your squad.
It's like well, would you call him an enforcer? I mean, I think the term enforcer is just kind of reserved for people that play a little dirty or are out there to throw elbows
I see what
or
you're
throw
saying.
punches.
Yeah, he's like Tristan Thompson. You remember Tristan Thompson with the Cavaliers, tall in there, just in there to get rebounds and block shots and pass the ball. And he knows his role, just to go up there and just kind of muck it up with their other big.
Think about Kamani's season 2. Devo's one of the guys from the start. You know that. And so, I mean, him being a hero for this team, you kind of expected. Like, all right, if we go this far, then Devo's, going to be one of the reasons why. Kamani Johnson sometimes is forgotten, even by me, too. I mean, there were portions of the season you forgot that he was, that he could be a valuable pice of the team.
Well, he was
Eric
in the boot,
Musselman
too.
didn't. Eric
Musselman
didn't forget about it, but Chuck pointed out, I heard this, I didn't even think about it this way this morning. He didn't even start on senior night when almost any senior will start, even if it's just for show, to thank somebody for being a senior.
He started.
Did he start on senior night?
I think he started on senior. That was his thing, because he started again the very first SEC game when they played Auburn, and then when they played A&M, Coach went back and started the Mitchell brothers. And I was shocked, but I thought, man, Kamani had earned it, because he only started and played like 4 minutes. But I'll have to go back and look. I thought he did start on senior night, because he was the one of the only positive things we had going on, because we got trashed. I mean, that Kentucky came in and whooped our butt when in Fayetteville that game.
And that game feels like a long time ago now, doesn't it? Feels like a long time ago. Stanley in Greenwood, you're on halftime. Thanks for the phone call. How are you?
Great. It's a great weekend. 2 questions, Phil. First of all, I was watching a lot of basketball, and this weekend, wouldn't y'all agree? The refs let them play. I mean, it's pretty tough in there in the lane. And second of all, the question is, you're around the baseball team quite a bit. What do you think about this team? How far can they go? And comparing it to the rest of the conference. And I'll hang up and listen.
All right, appreciate the phone call.
You were first of all, Phil,
Stanley.
I was wrong. You were right. Kamani did not start that Kentucky game. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's like, so you would expect that somebody would start senior night, but if he's a senior, but he didn't, and then he's in the rotation. Then he's a starter for the postseason.
They don't hang their head, do they?
He even started in his career ever at Arkansas. Now he's a guy that's like, all right, he's a starter. Just hope he stays out of foul trouble, and if he does, he's gonna at least present the attitude that's gonna get him a handful of rebounds, if not more.
Yeah, he brings the passion. He's physical enough. He's athletic enough. And he knows his role. Him and Walsh out there are a good little punch. With I love bringing Walsh off the bench. When you're bringing one of your best athletes off the bench, and just the things he can do around the rim, and when he's aggressive, Walsh can offensive rebound with anybody, and Kamani as well. I mean, they just getting those extra little possessions, resetting the shot clock, making them have to work for another 40 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever it is. It's big time.
That's about the baseball team. I think this team, they're playing really good ball right now. I guess that's pretty obvious, winning 13 games in a row. Pitching settled in for the last week, both as far as the starters and bullpen. I think you might have found a starter in Cody Adcock. I think you found a third baseman in Harold Cole. It's a really tough lineup for opposing pitchers to work through. I think this lineup can wear teams down, and I think one reason is because they're a little more selective than I think even some other really good Arkansas lineups. They don't chase too much. I think they're a tough team to pitch to, and I think they could do a lot of damage. We'll find out this weekend as far as going on the road and playing a really good team against LSU. But they look really good. I think they look really good. Might be a little better in the field than I might have expected. They run the bases fairly. They make a couple of mistakes here and there, but You needed guys to step up as far as pitching is concerned, and guess what's happened in the last 2 weeks? Guys have stepped up. So I think it's a pretty good baseball team right now. 877-377-6963. Yeah, D and Fort Smith said they started the Twins.
Yeah, it's my fault. He came in, he showed his flash. So remember, he came in and he was the one that was hustling. That's what I remember about that Kentucky game, because we were kind of getting housed the entire game.
That's two things you can guarantee about Devo and about Kamani. Like these guys, when they get on the court, it's 11 out of 10.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that they don't think they can do as far as at least to chase loose balls and rebound. I mean, what is Devo best at? Defense.
And you can control your energy and effort.
He's such a great defender. That's right, and he can control that. And I don't think any points you get from Devo are gravy. But a 21-point half.
He took over, man.
That's just going off in a way that I wouldn't have expected. Nobody could have expected that from him. He's not only that outside shot, Matt, but he is so good creating on the fly. Sometimes he gets himself into some awkward situations on the drive to the hole
because he's a little guy.
Other times that he's just able to make a tough shot, on the fast break. He's pretty creative in those situations.
He's a willing passer, and some of the times when he gets going, if you'll just cut, he'll pass the ball. When he gets in trouble is when people start watching a little bit. But the thing that I loved about this team was their awareness that who has the hot hand. Well, okay, Devo was bringing the ball up a lot. I mean, it was like, man, who has the hot hand? Everybody kind of get out of his way. Let's make sure what we're doing. That's just what you don't see in a young team a lot. Some guys will shoot you out of it. But this veteran team, that starts with the leadership with Coach Muss, and the guys know that Devo's the leader, kind of like KJ's the leader on the football team. Devo's the leader of this basketball team, and it's clear.
Unquestioned would be the term, right? Pretty clear who these guys,
him and Ricky, man,
belong to.
Man, Ricky. We don't talk about that Illinois game as much, but Ricky had his best game against that Illinois. 10 boards. I mean, he was on fire that game.
Might not win that game if Ricky doesn't hit most of his free throws.
Yeah, 18 and 10.
And then, of course, the one that he misses ends up getting tipped right back to him.
We finally caught we got a little luck, and Jordan Walsh, that's one thing, Phil. Jordan Walsh is the first of those loose balls. Like if it's a 50-50 ball, Jordan Walsh usually gets it.
Hustle. And Walsh is going to be here another year, too. And I can't wait to see what he turns into. Because I think he also, you and I were texting about it a little bit. He's a little reluctant star.
He's raw.
On the other, On the other hand, I think he also appreciated the idea that there were a couple of other guys that at that moment had the hot hand.
Absolutely.
Passed up some open shots.
That big three he hit, I mean, he hit some big shots. That was a big three Walsh hit.
Well, we want to celebrate this. What was it like for you? What was it like for the listeners watching that game on Saturday? Did you sit the entire second half? How many boxes of tissues did you go through? And what was it like for you watching Devo's post-game interview? Because I couldn't hold back at that point. I had the tears streaming down my face. I did. He's been, you get a chance to watch these guys from the start to the end of their career. Sometimes that career is just a year. Sometimes it's 2 years. We get to watch Devo for 3, 4, maybe 5. Because of the COVID year, too. I think he gets an extra year because of COVID eligibility.
That NIL might be a big time. We've talked a little bit about NIL keeping some of the quarterbacks in college football, which I think that it is. It's going to help the game grow a little bit. But some of these tweener basketball guys that aren't necessarily a lottery pick, man, they can get 6 figures to stay in school. There's money to be made now in the NIL.
Share your Saturday experience with us. 877-377-6963. It's halftime. We'll be right back.
I'd rather give my love to a broke guy that has a love that's true. Oh, yeah. Than to be fooled around and get hurt by you. 'Cause when I give my love, I want love in return.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
And at Red River Ram, the days of no inventory and no discounts is over. Because we've got your new Ram 1500 Bighorn truck starting at $8,000 off MSRP.
Ryan, Mitch said $8,000 off.
Why does he do this? I tell him, ask me first for you to do something crazy like that. So for the largest inventory in the state and the biggest discounts around, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Or check us out on the web at redriverram.com. During Ram Truck Month.
Spring is in the air, and it's time for all the outdoor activities you love. Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith is your one-stop spot for all your favorite spring activities. Spring fishing, wild turkey hunting, canoeing, kayaking, hiking, target shooting, or gardening. Stop by Jelco Outdoors. They have all the gear for all your favorite things. This spring, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota compact tractors, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. They're designed for easy operation and feature performance-matched attachments. Right now, put 0 down and get 0% APR for up to 72 months now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Gray Brothers Equipment. When you pick an orange, you'll never get a lemon.
It's our annual Battle of the Brand sale going on now at Breeden RV. In the heavyweight division, we have the Thor Chateau versus the Gulfstream BT Cruiser, both at $39,000 off MSRP. The lightweights are ready to roll with the Starcraft Autumn Ridge, coming in at $211 a month versus the Coachman Clipper at just $206 a month, both with taxes paid. We're knocking them out with state sales tax paid on all new 2022 models and free maintenance for life on everything new. Come in, pick a winner, and drive away the undisputed champion of the campground. When this Friday and Saturday, where? Breeden RV on Alma Highway in Van Buren. See dealer for details.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
I was searching. For a chance to meet, I was waiting for the operator on the line. He's gone so wrong. What can I do? Where could she be? No, don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get back to you. You got his love now.
back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Put in a lot of work. It's crazy. Oh, no, it's crazy. I feel good. I'm glad we came out with the win.
What makes you tear up? What are you thinking about?
Just put in the work. This team is struggling, and we figured it out. And I'm glad we did at the right time, and hopefully we continue to do it.
You earned it. You enjoy every second of this, young man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
That's for you, Joey. Joey was requesting the clip that I'd been referring to about Devo Davis post game in the CBS. Matt, how are you with the reporters? Allowing the person they're interviewing to celebrate with their team. Enjoy this. Please enjoy this. She's like giving him directions about it. It always comes across a little bit awkwardly to me.
They have media relations people there. I always kind of shied away, but I thought Devo handled it well. And what you just want him to be real and honest, and that's what you saw out there. It was he, not necessarily vulnerable, but like he was just real and honest, and you could tell. The thing we were talking about earlier, Phil, is you celebrate with your teammates too. You never celebrate individually and think, oh, I scored 23 points in the second half and I'm the reason you never think that, and you don't see any of that with this team, man. They want to celebrate together, and it is truly a team.
877-377-6963 if you want to get on and talk about this basketball team or anything else that's tickling your fancy, which probably right now is Arkansas hoops. Randall in Northeast Arkansas, you're on halftime. Thanks for the call, Randall. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good today, guys. How about y'all?
Doing
What's
great.
up?
Appreciate it.
I was driving back from Hot Springs during the ball game. I had to listen to it on the radio. And I think I about gave my wife a heart attack a couple of times there at the end, but that was a heck of a ball game.
It certainly was. I would not want to be listening to that game while I am driving some dangerous roads. Hopefully you're on the straight and narrow, because otherwise I'd be swerving.
Yeah.
Randall.
I was slapping the steering wheel. I was pretty excited. But I just want to bring something up here. Did you notice who rose to the top in that ball game?
Who rolled through the what?
Who rose up to the occasion?
The veterans.
Rose to the occasion.
The veterans,
The
Devo
veterans.
and Ricky, the
The
vets.
veterans.
Yep, you got to have
Veterans.
vets.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Anthony Black he's been phenomenal all year. And I know Nick Smith has got a bright future. But guys, now, look at Kansas. Where was Grady Dick all day?
Quiet.
Freshmen,
Yeah,
they just
you're
haven't-
right. He was
they
quiet.
haven't encountered what you encounter when you get to the NCAA tournament. And you're not going anywhere without some leaders.
Well, Kansas played in what has been viewed as the most difficult league in college basketball in the regular season. However, it's the SEC that has 3 teams in the Sweet 16. Big 12 has 2. I don't know if that shows that one conference was better than the other, but they were both meat grinders this year. And you're right about that too. It's the veterans that rose up. Although Jordan Walsh certainly rose to the occasion on a defensive side, but I think he gave you what you kind of expect from him. It's just he was able to play 33 minutes before fouling out, not in the low 20s. Thought that was pretty important as well.
Jordan Walsh is your everyday guy player. You know what I mean?
Like Jordan,
he's not playing.
Walsh is. I might project this a little bit because I hope he stays here for at least another year, and who knows? Because he's a raw offensive player. I think there's a lot to work with, but like he's the next Devo. You know what I mean? And it's nothing against Pinion and Ford and Dunning, the other 3 freshmen who are pretty talented. but haven't seen the floor all that much. But
Walsh
they'll be here longer. I think, Devo played a lot his freshman year. He was a dude on that team too. Walsh is a dude on this team. He's going to be here another year, maybe another 2 years. I don't know. But he's the next one that's got that same style of game. A little raw offensively, all hustle, will get you loose balls, will defend the opponent's best scorer, and may end up coming with some big time shots as he gets a little bit older.
Well, Matt said earlier that about the 50-50 balls, the loose balls, if Jordan Walsh is in the ball game, it's more like 70-30. Probably a 70% chance Walsh is going to get it. Hey,
heck, if you've got Jordan Walsh,
before I hang up,
go ahead, Randall.
I want to say one more thing before I hang up. Matt, I want to say that it's a privilege to get to talk to you. Bud, you were a thrilling and exciting player to watch on that football team. I mean, and I did not miss a game while you were playing. You were one heck of a quarterback.
Well, thank you, sir, for your very kind words.
I mean, I still remember the first time you took off running. I thought, oh, God, son, you're going to get killed. Couldn't nobody catch you. It couldn't hurt you because they couldn't catch you.
It was fun, man. I played with a lot of great players, man. It was a joy. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. I really appreciate it. Guys, I love your show. Listen to it every day.
Randall, appreciate that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the phone call, and thanks for the great words about Matt Jones as well. Randall in Northeast Arkansas. Definitely appreciated hearing that. Matt, if you get Kamani Johnson and Jordan Walsh on the floor at the same time, 50-50 ball ought to be 90-10.
And Devo. I mean, come on. You got him out there, too. Every loose ball we're scrapping for, man. That's the thing, man. You watch Walsh play. He's another guy that he doesn't pout. He doesn't hang his head. He doesn't necessarily know how many minutes he's going to get, but he knows he's going to get minutes, and it's up to him to be out on the floor. The better he plays, the more minutes he gets. And he just – He's a team first guy, and that's what you see with a lot of these players. That's why they're easy to root for, man. Even if you're not from Arkansas, watching that team play, you see that emotion. Coach Must taking his shirt off, getting all like you can tell how much it means to him. Just not as Arkansas. We're spoiled, I think. We're lucky to have Coach Must and what he does up there. And so from the outside looking in, it's interesting. I know we'll have some couple people on that aren't from the state, so it'll be interesting to see what the temperature is outside the state of Arkansas.
Hey, stay tuned. We will wrap up the first hour of halftime after a very quick break. Don't go anywhere.
ESPN Arkansas's live coverage at the Las Vegas Regional is presented by Mossback Fish Habitat. Whether it's a dock, lake, or pond, Mossback Fish Habitat can help you with all your fishery needs. Mock Legal Solutions. Visit mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule a free consultation. The Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison, bringing better to you. And Red River Auto Group. Find all of our inventory at redriverdodge.com or redriverfordcabot.com.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Fill your pot with golden deals all month long during our Lucky You sales event at the Crane Used Car Supercenter. Shop a great selection of Crane certified pre-owned vehicles as low as $279 a month with 0 down. And Lucky You will cash in every time with our exclusive Crane certification, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get low financing and buy with 0 down today at the Crane Used Car Supercenter of Fort Smith, U.S. Highway 71 South.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Make today more interesting with Betley's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betley, the only online sports book in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betley Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store or visit Betley.com. With Betley, every game matters. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment, not having enough home time, feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has 2 locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Springtime is finally here, and Road Chevrolet in Van Buren has the savings you need. Enjoy a 6-quart full synthetic oil change for $59.95 with a tire rotation at no additional charge. And save money by getting a 4-wheel alignment for only $79.95. To save even more, if you've never met our service manager, Ronald Peters, come and shake his hand and save $20 off any other service. It's as easy as a handshake. Road Chevrolet Van Buren and Rhodes Tire Center. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
(877-377-6963). The texts are rolling in, the calls are rolling in. Everybody's feeling the hog train is on the tracks, and it is going faster than a speeding bullet, and on time, just like the bullet trains.
Is there room? Is there room left? Can people come on? Is there room on the bus?
Of course.
Come on, right?
Of course there is.
Come on.
There's always room on a bandwagon for whoever wants to join, and that'll include Tuna, who's with us here. Hey, Charlie. Good morning, Charlie. How are you today?
Good morning, Phil. Hey, look, you know me. I've never left the bandwagon, because I've always said all year, you get into this tournament, you got a chance. So I'm not one of those fans that writes on Twitter every day, this team sucks, they're done, You know me. And
I'll vouch for you, Charlie, because you say it live on the air, like 4 or 5 times.
I do it. Same with the baseball team last year when all these fans gave up, and, it's just, it was one of those moments as a fan, though, when you think about it, you'll look back on it, and I'll remember it forever because, I've had a lot of moments like that. The Matt Jones game against Ole Miss, I always talk about that. That's a game that sticks in my head. And the Gonzaga win last year, this game right here. And I want to talk about Devo just for a second. I know you guys have already probably talked about him, but I want to tell you guys how it is down here compared to maybe how it is up there, the perception of him, because I live down here and I know it and I see it. And down here, he doesn't get the respect and that he deserves. And I argue a lot with a lot of guys, that, look, this dude has saved our season. And I've said that multiple times on the air and I'm saying it again. But, let's think about it. This is a kid that's been through a lot since he's been at Arkansas. And people have kind of, Matt, I know you grew up in a little bit of a better era where you didn't have to look at that phone all the time. And I know you hated to do the interview, but, these kids feed off that stuff. And, he sees it. He's seen what people have said about him throughout his career. And unfortunately, good or bad. So I'm proud of him. It was a very emotional moment between him and Muss. And I know you guys are up against the break, but it's just a moment that I'll never forget. And as long as I live, it was just a great moment. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate hearing from you. And he's a radio pro. He hears the music. He knows what to do. Yeah.
I wonder what the feel is about Devo. I wonder about that, Phil, because I know how we both feel about him. Yeah.
That's something to open up in the next hour because I don't think we can get into that in the next 10 seconds. So halftime, we'll be right back. Hour number 2 is coming up.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the Homestead Tax Credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The Homestead Tax Credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor. If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Over the years, we've helped thousands of customers drive better. It's simple really. Rath Road Ready used cars, live market value pricing, and award-winning Meineke Car Care Center service after the sale. It's what's made us Arkansas's favorite used car dealer. This month, you can start driving better too with up to $3,400 extra for your trade and savings up to $4,100 below retail. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center, now offering our exclusive Meineke Mile mile service contracts and prepaid maintenance plans that can add life and value to your car while saving you up to 20%. By the way, visit us on Facebook or at rathauto.com to register for our monthly contest. You can win a set of tires plus a Meineke Mile prepaid maintenance plan, $1,000 value. It's free and it's fun, but absolutely ends March 31st. Start driving better today with Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our temperature's not quite as cool. We'll manage the mid-50s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Few showers possible. An overnight low in the upper 30s. Showers especially early on Tuesday, especially across the north. That's where we see the most widespread rain. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
I hate everything you just said.
KERX Parasport Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart up. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that back, your
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Into the 12 o'clock hour here on Halftime on a glorious Monday. It's beautiful outside. We're getting set for, we got a WNIT game tonight at Bud Walton Arena, Arkansas versus Stephen F. Austin. Chance to move on to the third round for Mike Neighbors' team. Stephen F's pretty good ball club. I think this will be a tough game both ways. Of course, Arkansas men's basketball advances to the Sweet 16. Devo Davis is like the overarching theme of this of the show today, and probably for most sports shows that focus on Arkansas athletics. Stanley in Springfield said he's willing to bet Devo didn't go into the Kansas game focused on scoring 25. Rather just shut down
he's a ball player, right? I don't think that either, Phil. I think, Devo shows up it's a business trip, man. He shows up to work, man. He every time he shows up out there, man, he's focused up, and it doesn't matter. He's going to fill the stat sheet up, and if you get not necessarily gravy like you were talking about earlier, but if you get whatever points you get from him is just awesome because he's our main defensive stopper.
Bill in Northeast Arkansas texts in. Arkansas wouldn't be Arkansas without Devo, and I think that's right. Now, I know Charlie called in a moment ago, and he lives in Camden, so he says that he doesn't think Devo is as appreciated in the southern portion of the state than he is in maybe some other spots. I can't speak for that. I just know in Central Arkansas, where he's from, he's beloved, and has been. And I think even before he ever joined Arkansas. And in Northwest Arkansas, it's certainly understood his importance to the team. I can't speak to the way that the rest of the state might view him, but I mean, he's an interesting personality. It kind of begins with somebody that's just a little bit different than others. I mean,
he kind of wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yes, he is emotional during games, and I think at other times, like it was crazy, that whole situation in Maui where, he just didn't move at all in the second half in that last game. You could tell something's wrong because he's an animated person, usually on the bench, even if he's not playing. There's the painting of the nails and all of that kind of stuff. Some people think he's just a little bit weird or a little bit different. But so what? So what if he paints his nails or not? The guy plays basketball and I hate using this term, but 110%, which is 11 out of 10.
You're right.
I can still use my Spinal Tap thing. But anybody can the
quarterback from USC paints his nails. I think that's just this younger generation. That's just stuff that it's okay, man. It's
hey,
like,
Matt, you remember what was this, like a month and a half ago or something? We had a caller who called this show and pointed out Devo Davis as a cancer on the team. So not everybody views him the way that we do. I mean, at that point, you're like, really? I don't know exactly what you're watching.
He just wants to win, man. He's a competitor, and it might come across that way. So what you're saying is, like, I think that's what it is. He goes about it. He's authentic. He's real. He wants to win. He's out there competing. And, yes, he lets you see his emotions. He doesn't just kind of bottle it all in. So maybe it does rub some people the wrong way. But I absolutely love him, man. He's been Mr. Razorback, I've thought, all year. I mean, he's a stud.
Jake B. texted in, the catchers paint their nails. Yes, I know catchers paint their nails, but they paint their nails for competitive purposes so that the pitcher can see the signs. No basketball player paints his nails for any competitive purposes. That's a fashion thing. So
hey, I hope he keeps doing it. I mean, whatever
Maybe
he's
to psych out the opposing players.
Whatever he's doing,
Maybe
let's keep it up.
Look at my nails, not at the ball.
This
You're
got
getting
crazy.
Sleepy.
I know a lot of women's basketball players that paint their nails for fashion purposes and doesn't have anything to do with the game in and of itself. Cecil's with us here. Hey, Cecil, you're on halftime. How are you? Good to hear from you today.
Please turn your radio down.
Yeah, I just turned it down. I was at the bank. I'm sorry. How y'all doing?
What's up?
Man, look, I know a game like Saturday or Sunday, whenever we play Saturday. It's not a lot of. I take that back. All the exciting Razorback games I can remember. Matt, you got them. You got more than one exciting game. But like when my homeboy Ron Brewer played for Arkansas and we were in St. Louis and we beat Notre Dame for the consolation game. When we beat OU in the Orange Bowl, just games like that. Yesterday was a really exciting game that I will remember. And we actually are, like, gelling together. Our confidence is up. Debo, Matt, I did say Debo was a really good guard to me. I mean, because he's really mobile. He can move fast, and he's the floor general of the team.
He's the glue guy, yeah.
There you go. And I thought about it. I said Walsh need to get in the weight room, but he really works hard. He got long arms, but all of them are freshmen, so we're doing great. And right now, we could actually win the tournament. I mean, I looked at everything. We can make it. We can make it back to the Final Four, just point blank. You just got to get out there and stay focused, man. I'm happy for the team. I get a rush. I get chills every time we play, man. And that's about all I wanted to say today. I gotta call in though, but I listen every day, but the weekends, no one.
Cecil, it's good to hear from you. And I remembered, Matt. You remember on Friday after Arkansas had beaten Illinois, you're like, all right, don't worry too much about Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or moving forward, Final Four, all that kind of stuff. You know what? After beating the number one seed in your region, I feel okay with fantasizing a little bit and moving forward.
Phil, you're right. UConn's I mean, if we want to get UConn is every bit as good as Kansas. Man, we're going to have to come out there and shoot 21 to 25 from the free throw line. We're going to have to make some play. It's the same thing. They're all good, but it's going to be a real game. Kansas is a team, Phil. I'm with you. Kansas could have won the national championship again. That if you watch that team play, their motion offense, they had dudes everywhere. They could hit shots, like you said. Biggest win for this Razorback team this year on the biggest stage, and they're going to have to do it again Thursday. It's going to be a bigger stage, and it'll be that much sweeter if we're able to beat UConn.
In Vegas, baby. Vegas. I can't.
John Farbu in Made. It's like Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. You told me you're going to wear your suit and your money, baby.
Admittedly, I've only been to Vegas once for a women's basketball Thanksgiving tournament. Heck, I think that was my first year doing the women's basketball games, 2015 or it was 2016.
Well, they just started playing out there too, didn't they? That's just kind of a newer thing.
Well, I'm sure there's been Elite Eights there before. Yeah. Sooner or later, they're going to have a Final Four there. You know, in the football.
Well, they have this NBA Summer League out there. Yeah.
Well, and there's a bunch of different basketball arenas inside Vegas.
Okay.
I mean, some depends on how fancy you want it. You know, there's the South Point Arena, which is more of a rodeo arena. If you don't mind smelling, cow manure during the basketball game, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't hold a major NCAA event there. It's probably at Orleans Arena. That's my guess. I think that's where the Pac-12 tournament gets played. But, going from Supreme Middle America of Des Moines, which Des Moines got a lot of great reviews from fans and from other show hosts that we know of from our station and Ty and other stations. So people seem to be surprised that you could actually have a good time in the capital city of Iowa. Vegas is a whole other thing. Like, I'd be worried about some of the media members maybe not making it to the basketball game, depending on what they might have had going on the night before. So be very careful out there. When's the last time you've been to Vegas, Matt?
Man, I've been to Vegas probably 10 times, about 3 days at a time, and it's always it's been a decade. I'm in my youth, I haven't been to Vegas in years. Yeah, it'd been like 2009 or something. Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm not a go out till 3 a.m. kind of a person.
Right.
I like shows, but I like more of along the lines of like Broadway.
I'm
shows.
not a big gambler, like I get it for entertainment. Like I'll go, I'll put $100 in my pocket, but I can't. I don't want to put 10 grand and go gamble. Like that's not fun for me. Like I just don't enjoy it. Yeah.
Here it was. We thought that there was legitimate. We did for a few weeks there think that Arkansas would play in the Las Vegas Bowl. That we would have Arkansans descending in
2-0 versus Kansas. Don't we? We kind of own Kansas, right? We got territory.
True.
Yeah, 2-0 this year.
Yeah. Now the joke is now that Kansas lost twice to Arkansas, they got to pronounce the state Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah. Go figure.
Kansas.
877-377-6963 to get with us. We don't have any guests here in hour number 2, so it's just you and us. Does Ty need a babysitter in Vegas this week? Well, that's what Chuck Barrett's there for. Oh, and probably to call the games too. maybe Zim can babysit Ty a little bit.
Well, I wonder, Phil, when will they leave? Do we know when the team will leave? When Chuck, if they leave on Tuesday, you want to leave a whole day early, right? Before
I'd imagine it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
They came back on Saturday. They had,
Did they leave anybody there to scout? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. Good question.
I mean, that's you would have think you get a little more by watching it in purpose. You would think they'd have left a coach behind to scout the next game.
That's what a coach wants. That's what coach wants to do after they finish a game in the SEC tournament is watch the next game.
Absolutely,
scout the opponent.
Yes.
There's no doubt. So maybe they did. Well, it's exciting, and I'm sure they're leaving tomorrow. You're not going to travel the day before that game. Plus, there's all sorts of media availability.
And you got to adjust to the time change.
Yeah, and
2-hour difference, I believe, out there.
You got to also, know what it's like to stand there at the window. Like, remember when this team travels, Musk takes them to go see some things. They went to Niagara Falls in Buffalo for the NCAA tournament. They went and saw some of the sites in San Francisco.
Is there an elevation change, Phil? I know in Denver there is. Do you change a lot? Does it wear you down? Is Vegas up there too, or is?
I'm not sure what the elevation as Vegas is.
Because you get tired a lot quicker.
Other cities around that area. Yeah. That's a good point. Hydrate, and not that stuff that you usually drink when you're in Vegas. I just mean water.
You got to acclimate.
You guys are something else. You guys are absolutely something else. Also, something else, if you want to win a Fantasy Enamour Premier Hot Tub Package at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith, go to hitthatline.com/Mermaid Madness, or just show up at either of the Burton Pools and Spas locations in Springdale and Fort Smith. And if you closest to guess how many mermaids are in the hot tub, and the winner is announced on April the 4th, and you're going to win. This is a hot tub package valued at a little over $6,200. Fantasy Enamour Premier, easy for you to say. 4-person plug-and-play hot tub with an adjustable waterfall, exterior and interior multicolored lights. There's a synthetic wood cabinet, a built-in ice bucket, and you get the cover, the steps, and the startup chemicals along with it. You got to go to Burton Pools and Spas, either of their locations, or hitthatline.com/Mermaid Madness and guess how many mermaids are in the hot tub. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith, your source for backyard fun. We'll take calls. We'll take texts at 877-377-6963. And halftime is right back.
What have I done? Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing underground into the blue again, into the silent water.
I love baseball season. It's the best time of the year. Every Friday, we get to talk shop with one of my favorite former pitchers, James Teague.
12:15 on Friday is my favorite time of the week. I love joining you guys on halftime to talk about the baseball team and Teague Law Firm. You know what we always say, if we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
Don't miss James Teague with the Teague Law Firm every Friday right here at 12:15 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The 1-2. He struck him out swinging.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Make today more interesting with Betly's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betly, the only online sports book in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betly Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store or visit Betly.com. With Betly, every game matters.
Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Burton Pools and Spas has built over 12,000 pools and installed more than 8,000 hot tubs, making the Burton family more than 20,000 members strong. Join the Burton family during our hot tub and swim spa closeout sale. All 2022 models must go. Save up to $3,750 off hot tubs and save up to $7,000 off swim spas with financing available. Stay healthy, have fun, and spend more time together with a hot tub from Burton Pools and Spas. At Burton, we do more than install hot tubs. We build long-term relationships.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The homestead tax credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, get down, 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 get down.
Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Baseball rankings have come out. Arkansas's moved up to second in the writers' poll. The baseball coaches have Arkansas ranked third. D1 Baseball has them fifth. And so it's starting to move up. There were some surprising things that happened in college baseball, in SEC baseball specifically this last weekend. None more surprising than Missouri sweeping Tennessee. That's 2 years in a row, I think, Tennessee's lost a series to Missouri. It was either them or Kentucky last year. I can't remember. Can't be a surprise that Tony Vitello got an ejection. First game of the doubleheader yesterday for arguing a balk.
Do you get to come back for the second game?
Yeah, you can come back for the second game, but I think another ejection will lead to a one-game suspension.
If you get
And
back
he's
to
already,
backs, yeah.
Yeah. Well, not just back-to-back. Just two ejections in a season, I think, leads to a one-game suspension. And Tony already served a self-imposed suspension for recruiting violations. And I mean, he's like the Bobby Cox of college baseball right now, which is just getting thrown out of ball games because he can't contain his temper. I think it's just kind of what it comes down to. We'll get into more college baseball later on. Arkansas and LSU this next weekend. Can't wait for that. We got SEMO first tomorrow. At first, we got Sterling with us here on Halftime. Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you?
Guys, I'm doing great, and a great win by the Hogs, and I just want to give Nick Smith Jr. a lot of credit, because you still got to remind yourself that this time last year he was a high school student, and I'm sure he hears some of the stuff said about him. And when he came back in that game and Debo fouled out with 156 left to go in the game, with the game still in the balance, he could have went and tried to go hero ball. There's people out there that would have did that. That got the status and the hoopla that he comes with, and reading stuff saying that this is my chance to be a hero. He didn't do that. He came in there, played hard-nosed defense, stayed within the framework of the team, and we got out of there with an amazing victory. And it takes a lot. I done seen people go hero ball a lot older than that young man in certain situations.
Well, Sterling, what do you think also about Coach Muss, not playing him for a little bit? I thought that was, it starts with Coach Muss with this team and the fact that, what, he go 14 minutes and didn't play him in the second half?
Right. Yeah, that's great. I mean, yes, it's hard to. That's hard to do, but it was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it starts with Coach Muss.
Right. And you're right, man. I need to give him some credit for doing that, because it's easy to just ride with him, and hope that he's going to come out of it. But he didn't do that. And even though it seems simplistic, of course you take him out of the game, but not everybody's going to do that either, And if you're quick to criticize, which I have criticized him this season, you got to give him the credit when he makes the right moves and get the team back to another Sweet 16. I'm going to just throw these little things at you before I let y'all guys go. Out of 16 teams left, there's 2 number 1 seeds, 2 2 seeds, 3 3s, 2 2, 2 4s, 2 5s, and there's a 6, a 7, a 8, a 9, and a 15. By conferences, you have 3 SECs, 3 Big East, 2 from the Big 12, 1 from Conference USA, 1 from Conference USA, 1 from the ACC, AAC, and
yeah, Sterling, I got 1 from Conference USA. That's Florida Atlantic. The American has Houston.
Right.
Mountain West is San Diego State. Ivy League is Princeton. Big Ten, Michigan
What about
State,
Princeton,
ACC,
Phil?
Miami,
Yeah.
West Coast Conference, Gonzaga, Pac-12, UCLA. So you get the 3 conferences, the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big East, that equal 8 of the 16, and then there's 8 conferences that make up the rest of the field.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But somebody called me, my thing was beeping and it was throwing me off. And you got 8 regular season conference champions left, and you have 5 conference tournament champions left. So, it's a whole group of everything. It's nothing it's not one thing that you can really go by except those big 3 conferences that have the teams. And I'm telling you, this thing is still open. I think Alabama's the best team. I think Houston's after that. But any of these 16, except for maybe Princeton, I think Princeton's about the only one that you can really say for sure that they can't win this thing. To me, will you agree with that? Of the 15, that you can really say there's no way.
You would assume the magic runs out sooner or later, and probably sooner rather than later.
I don't think Miami could win it. I don't think Texas can win it. I don't think Florida Atlantic can win it. I think UConn could win
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State. There's a couple teams that UCLA could win it. UConn could definitely win it. Arkansas just. What do you think? We're about 9th or 10th out of the 16 teams. If you were ranking your horses.
That sounds about right. I didn't reseed the tournament like I saw some of the other websites do, but I guess I'd put Arkansas 8th or 9th amongst them. Alabama certainly number 1. Probably go. Let's see. I mean, Texas is playing some. Well, Houston. I did see Houston number 2. I think Texas is playing really good basketball. I'd put them number 3.
See, I got Kansas State and UCLA and Gonzaga over Texas. So you're a little higher on Texas than I am. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, UConn. I mean, somebody asked why would UConn be favored? They play in a really tough league.
That's a real basketball team, dude. That's
like Mike Oresco got all upset that they're referring to the Power 5 and forgetting about the American Conference. The Big East is basketball's Power 7. And if you want to count the American, fine, but things are changing for that league soon. They're losing some of the schools that make them a good basketball conference. The Big East isn't about to lose anybody. In fact, they're about to get Rick Pitino at St. John's. So the Big East is a powerful conference. That's one reason why UConn's favored. They were really good in the Big East this year. That's just a very difficult conference. Sterling, appreciate the phone call. It is very good to hear from you. 877-377-6963. Matt in Springdale says elevation in Vegas is 2,030 feet. That's not even half a mile.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not so bad. Not so bad. And they didn't need to leave a coach to scout in Des Moines because UConn and St. Mary's was played in Albany.
See, so there you go. Thanks
no reason to leave him behind anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. That's kind of weird that they didn't they play in a different place, different location.
Oh, look who's here. I got 6 lengthy texts from Eduardo after the game on Saturday, and it even continued yesterday, earlier this morning. Eduardo, the hog train, it's a bullet train right now, man, and it's right on time, just like the bullet train is. How are you today?
Man, I'm feeling good. As our fan base, they're feeling good right now. But like I said last week, as I caught in several times, this is who we are as a program. I was listening to Coach Musselman's post-game comments, and he said this is, as far as he's concerned, the biggest game he's ever been a part of and win. But Coach Musselman, I want you to look at the banners. Look at the banners, sir. This program is built on big wins, and our program has been some of the best teams ever assembled. You talk about Phi Slamma Jamma when you go down memory lane, when Akeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Michael Young, and then when you talk about 5-5, the 5-5 of Michigan, DeJuan Howard, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, and when you talk about Michael Jordan, maybe the greatest player of all time, and we beat them. And I come this Thursday, whoa! I'm not Ric Flair. I'm not the Nature Boy, but I'm calling on tradition. And I tell you, this team can step up and win. What are they bringing to the tournament? What is the recipe? Well, you seen it on display against Kansas, and you talk about defense, and we can play it with anybody in the tournament. So I'll send a little message to UConn. If you think we're going to back down for if you think we haven't beat teams before, well, get ready. Get your boxing gloves on because the hump train, woo! I'm not Ric Flair again. We're coming to Las Vegas, and we're coming to win.
All right, Eddie. Eddie, thank you for listening to our show. Man, that's a great phone call, and that's a lot of pent-up excitement and energy, and sounded like close to anger, but I know it's not anger. That was pent up. Eddie was going in a lot of different directions there.
I thought he was going to name that Duke team that we beat too with Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley. You know, that was a big time. Christian Laettner's probably one of the best college basketball players ever.
You know what I need? I need the loudest sports caller in all of Connecticut to call our show and try to compete against Eduardo, because there isn't any. Like, they've got some interesting accents up there in New England. I don't know if the Connecticut dialect is all that much different from New York, but I would love to hear a New England version of Eddie in Clarksville. That would be pretty. That'd be wicked. It would be wicked, is what it would be. 877-377-6963.
Got mad napkins over here.
Apparently, St. John's is firing Mike Anderson for cause. Just got a text about this and looked it up a moment ago. For cause might be the idea that they fired him with $11 million left on the contract. But apparently, failure to create and support an environment that strongly encourages student-athletes who are in the men's basketball program to meet all university academic requirements. Going on, failure to perform your duties and responsibilities in a manner that reflected positively on St. John's University, actions that brought serious discredit to the school, and failure to appropriately supervise and communicate with assistant coaches. And Mike Anderson vehemently disagreeing with these allegations. So this is going to be a little bit ugly.
I was
Mike
around Coach
Anderson.
Anderson. He was assistant coach when I played. It seems like there's something else going on there, because that's not his character at all. Yeah, so I'd want to know what more. I think you might be right. It might just have something to do with the money.
$11 million might be for cause in this sense. All right, we'll take a break. Want to remind you about the Bet Saracen app. We have heard that there is a new feature going on right now. Play-by-play feature. That means you can put a little wager on literally every play that's going on in the NCAA tournament. They'll also have that live for opening day Major League Baseball. It's play-by-play, branded as flash bets on the Bet Saracen app. That's for anyone that's got a it's got an Android Google phone or Apple iPhone. These will work on your phones as well. Any web browser, betsaracen.com. With NCAA tournament in full swing in Major League Baseball, this is changing the way that you can watch sports and enjoy it with in-game live play-by-play betting. They call it Flash Bets, branded as Flash Bets on the Bet Saracen app. All right, we'll take a break. More halftime right after this.
ESPN Arkansas's live coverage at the Las Vegas Regional is presented by Mossback Fish Habitat. Whether it's a dock, lake, or pond, Mossback Fish Habitat can help you with all your fishery needs. Mock Legal Solutions. Visit mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule a free consultation. The Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison, bringing better to you. And Red River Auto Group. Find all of our inventory at redriverdodge.com or redriverfordcabot.com.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move, and look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Unforgettable moments, legendary players, college baseball's best fans, postseason pilgrimages to Omaha. There's nothing like Arkansas Razorback baseball. Spring is here, and head coach Dave Van Horn and the Hogs are back at Baum Walker Stadium to open up the 2023 campaign. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used or transferred to a friend. If you need tickets, Hog Pen tickets are now available online. We'll see you at Baum Walker Stadium.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
With over 8,000 square feet of all the latest trends in lighting and plumbing fixtures, Great House Fixtures has all the brands you know and love, such as Visual Comfort Lighting and Delta Faucets. Their experienced staff can help you design and select the perfect fixtures for your uniquely you home, including sinks, tubs, faucets, custom showers, indoor and outdoor lighting, chandeliers, mirrors, hardware, and more. Make your house a great house. Learn more at greathousefixtures.com, located on 0th Street in Fort Smith. Great House Fixtures by J&B Supply.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm heartbroken and I'm feeling low down. I'm sick and tired of the life I live around this old town. And I'm getting tired of crying over you. So honey, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm taking this old train for a long ride. I'm gonna stay a long time, losing an old love, starting a new life. I'm
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Moving along here on Halftime. Got a hot baseball team right now. I want to put basketball aside just for a moment here. Got the baseball team winning 13 games in a row, and they just look like the better team than Auburn over the previous 3 days. I think Auburn's going to struggle when I watch them. I think they're a little bit messy in the field. Their starting rotation is a little bit screwed up, and they got some batters, but it's a really unbalanced lineup. This Arkansas lineup is pretty balanced, and so you get a series like Jace Borfin, Matt, has been the hottest hitter on the team for a while now. Borfin didn't drive in a single run in the series, not one. Jared Wagner didn't drive in a run until the go-ahead homer yesterday, which might still be traveling, but they still find a way to win games because there's you have a lineup where so maybe Borfin didn't have a great series, but Kendall Diggs did. Diggs drove in 4 runs. He had 3 doubles over the series. Harold Cole had a great series. And then Wagner hits that 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Starting to believe in the pitching a little bit more. After the injuries that they've dealt with, this change in the rotation by moving Hagen Smith to reliever for the weekend, well, what you needed then at some point was, first of all, to win the first 2 games, because that's the premium they're putting on, is winning Friday, not worrying about Saturday. Winning Saturday, not worrying about Sunday. And then you go from there. You could not have asked for a script to be followed any better than it was followed by the pitching this weekend. Hunter Holland gives you 6 good innings, and then Hagen Smith closes it out by pitching the final 3. People wonder, why did you keep Smith out there with a 5-run lead when there might be some other pitchers that can get you outs? I don't think Dave Van Horn was messing around. I don't think he was willing to hand the ball to somebody.
It's a conference game, right?
In the hopes. Right. I don't think it was a matter of, well, we need somebody to get some work. Let's see if he can close an SEC game. He gave it to a guy who's pitched in SEC games, big moments before, and in Omaha, in those sort of moments in Hagen Smith. That's why Hagen closed that game out. And there were like 15 to 20 mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out. And you don't, a lead in an SEC base, a 5-run lead in an SEC ball game can go away like that. As soon as the pressure comes on, it can disappear. That's why he kept him out there. So Will McIntyre goes out, gives you 6 quality innings, didn't have his best stuff, but 6 quality innings, and you're leading 9-3. Gives Dylan Carter the ball. Kept him out there for the entire 3 innings, even with a 6-run lead. It's the very same reason. Because at that point, you're saving... You trust this pitcher. Dylan, I think, has earned the trust. He's thrown 9 2/3 scoreless innings in a row. This is somebody that they feel pretty confident in. And I think, Matt, I had a conversation with Matt Hobbs yesterday about Dylan Carter, and I think sometimes there's a misunderstanding or an understanding of how Hobbs and other pitching coaches pitch or coach that might be wrong, that it's just about pitching to or coaching to the velocity, to the radar gun. Throw it as hard as you possibly can, let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully you learn how to control the hardest that you possibly throw. I don't think that's not how Matt Hobbs coaches. I think what he's doing, and this is what we talked about, Dylan Carter the previous year was redshirted. He was trying to throw the ball as hard as he could, and he couldn't locate. He's throwing 95 at that point. 95 down the middle or out of the strike zone doesn't help you very much. What he's throwing now is 91 to 93 with command, keeping it low in the strike zone. He's got a good slider, he's got a good changeup, and he's around the strike zone. This is an example of a pitching coach that is telling a pitcher, and he understands it now, it's not about throwing as hard as you possibly can. It's about maximizing your best velocity with your best control and letting these two things meld together and understanding you don't need to throw the ball as hard as you possibly can to get outs. You need to have good stuff, but you need to command it. and that's what Dylan Carter is doing. And I think there's a misunderstanding about how Matt Hobbs coaches. And I think you look to the injuries from some of the guys recently that were throwing 95 to 97, like Wiggins and last year Peyton Paulette, but that's not – you don't coach every pitcher the same way. That's not how Matt Hobbs coaches them.
Yeah, it makes me think, Phil, of a quarterback that has a real big, strong arm, but you gotta have some touch and some accuracy. You got to be able to throw the finesse throws as well. And, yeah, as a baseball pitcher, maybe it's a little bit like Jordan Walsh. He's learning how to be an SEC caliber pitcher, not just a high school star that could just overpower everybody and get him to swing. Right. You're learning how to play the game.
That's right. That's right. It's a little bit of fine-tuning your game. The higher the level is, the more fine-tuned
you got to be on point. Yeah.
You got to understand yourself better. What you can do with 91 to 93 compared to what you can do with 95 or 96, which in that case was to not be able to throw strikes. Rod has given us a call. He's out there on Interstate 40. Hi, Rod. How are you today?
All right, you, sir.
Doing great. Always good to hear from you.
Of all the teams I worry about up there on the hill, baseball ain't one. Dave does what Dave does.
Sure. I got 99 problems, but baseball's not one.
But DVH and baseball's not one. That's right.
No, I've got absolute confidence in the man and his coaching staff. UConn, getting back to basketball, they're a great team. Illinois was a pretty darn good team. But we just beat the 800-pound gorilla in the corner of the room, not just the one, but the number one team in the nation. So I think there's a possibility we just might be able to handle UConn. It's just outside possibility there that they're a technical team. They like to pass the ball around. We isolate. They really have a problem with isolation, I understand. So it's going to be reload and go again, I think, on the next basketball game. Houston will be the one I worry about. Yeah.
UConn finished 12th. Yeah, top 10 in the country this year. UConn, that, like you were saying, Phil, they play in a real basketball conference. They're scary. This is we can't have a let up. They'll embarrass us. They were 13-7 in conference. Marquette, Xavier, Creighton. Yeah, I mean, I like. I like our chances, but it's a game where we're going to have to show up and play two halves. We're going to have to play 40. I mean, it's the Sweet 16. We're going to have to play our best ball.
Kansas lost 8 games. All those losses were to high-level teams. Outside of maybe Iowa State, they were okay. They weren't really good, but they were a tournament team. TCU had a great season. Baylor had a great season up until losing this last one. Outside of that, Kansas State is still playing. Texas is still playing, and Tennessee is still playing. Those are the teams that beat Kansas this year. Oh, and yes, Arkansas beat them as well.
And Phil, UConn, their losses, they only lost to 2 unranked teams. St. John, Mike Anderson, and St. John got them, and Seton Hall, but they lost to Marquette. They lost to Xavier. Their losses are, and they beat Alabama. I mean, UConn beat Alabama 82-63, and we haven't even got that close to Bama.
Rod, good to hear from you, man. Let's take one more call before we go into the break. Roscoe's in Fort Smith. Hey, Roscoe, we got about a minute, and then we're going to have a break. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. Man, I got a couple of things. I'll go quick. Baseball team, and they're playing great. I'm so impressed with them. The basketball team, what can you say? They're awesome. They're playing good right now, and I love Devo. That guy. He's worked hard, and he deserves every accolade he gets. But I've got a question. What is going on with Graham? He comes in, plays 2 minutes, never see him again. What does he do wrong?
He doesn't play. He doesn't know how to play defense sometimes. Coach Muss has shown he gives him a shot. I mean, we see it. We see the story, Phil. We see Graham get in, and then he might play 7 minutes, or he might play 2 possessions. It's all up to him.
Yeah. Roscoe, appreciate the phone call. It's good to hear from you. I mean, by this point, it's become obvious he does not defend. He does not rebound enough to be someone that is featured in the rotation on a consistent basis. He might get out there, but he's not going to be out there very long. Now watch him go for, 25.
Well, hey, we know he's capable of doing it. That's for sure.
All right, we've got to take a break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2 after a quick break.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Do you want to be a part of the team that makes the best pizza and wings in town? Well, I've got great news. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is now accepting applications for full and part-time cooks. Fill out your application in person Monday through Saturday between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. You'll get to make the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Pour the double cheese and sausage. Right here, dude.
Searching for a promising career change?
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Remember this top 10 hit from 1983? Boy George, I Think You've Got It. It's Church of the Poison Mind by Culture Club. The culture is continuing to poison the minds of our youth by clubbing them with everything but the truth. But when we heed God's word, He gives us the solution to all the gender confusion. The true poison is believing that evil is good and good is evil. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way
you need. Enjoy a 6-quart full synthetic oil change for $59.95 with a tire rotation at no additional charge. And save money by getting a 4-wheel alignment for only $79.95. To save even more, if you've never met our service manager, Ronald Peters, come and shake his hand and save $20 off any other service. It's as easy as a handshake. Road Chevrolet Van Buren and Rhodes Tire Center. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Tell everyone! Hey, tell everyone! Hey, tell everyone! Hey, oh, tell everyone!
That we got it. Arkansas throws it into Kamani, back to Black. Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! The Razorbacks, for the third straight year, are headed to the Sweet 16, 72-71, the final over Kansas.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Was Vegas Baby a thing before Swingers? Because that's the first place I heard it. Admittedly, I'd not been to Vegas before the movie came out, but I can't hear Chuck calling it like that without thinking of Vince Vaughn.
Absolutely.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Vegas Baby. John Favreau and Vince Vaughn getting it done and made. What a good movie, man. Or no, that's Swingers. Sorry, they did Made too, but Swingers. Yeah. I loved when they all get in their own car. They all got 5 of them going to house. Like, yeah, this party's kind of a drag. Let's get out of here.
Swing music came back for about 5 minutes.
Oh, and you had the Zoot Zoot Riot with the pocket chain. Heck yeah!
It was that movie that helped usher it in a little bit. Yeah, I mean they had the Cherry Poppin' Daddies on that soundtrack.
Yeah. They were getting it on.
I took some swing lessons
Heather
the year
Graham,
after the movie came out.
Heather Graham was awesome in Swingers. I mean, get out of here. Which one's yours? That red Cavalier over there? Yeah.
You're a bear. You got these big thick hands, you know?
What are you trying to be?
Yeah. That one still holds up. There's no doubt. That one
we got to protect our rep, man. We got to protect our credit. What?
I found a new snacks. Bubba brought some fun snacks up in the booth over the weekend. Bubba lost it on the air on Saturday too.
What happened?
I'm sorry. Well, Auburn had a pitcher whose last name was Crotchfeld, and Bubba lost it. Yeah, he lost it.
Sounds Danish.
I don't know what it's from. He asked what, where do you think the last name comes from? I have no idea, and I'm really not interested in discussing this on the radio at that moment. What he did was he messed around and found out. That's what happened. Bubba tried to get me to lose it in the first inning, talking about we got to pound this pitcher, certain things that he would throw out there, that kind of thing. But once
be real aggressive.
Well, he found out when I mentioned, the kid actually's got some stuff. He's a left-handed freshman from New Jersey. He throws hard, 93, 94 miles an hour. So when I saw it, it's like, gosh, this kid's got a good fastball. But I said, Bubba, he's got a little fuzz on that fastball. He lost it. That was it for him. He swallowed a giant butterfly, and then we didn't hear from Bubba for another 90 seconds. You know what that's called? That's called effing around and finding out.
You better ask somebody.
That's right.
Was there a player with the last name Ware? Because I swear at one point I heard you say Ware's on second.
Yes, his last name is Ware.
Oh, okay, because I thought
like Andre Ware.
Did I just join in the middle of a bit they were doing? Who's on first? Well, Ware's on second.
The bit was unintentional, but it happened on Saturday for certain. I've got audio evidence of it too. Sometime I'll play for you guys. All right, we're going to get into the third hour of halftime. Give us a call. Give us a text. 877-377-6963. Mess around with us and find out.
Fort Smith's largest used car sale ever this Thursday through Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 500 vehicles are on the lot for this one-time event. Cars as low as $49.95. Bring your trade-in. Multiple appraisers are on site to bid on your car. Over 30 banks on hand to get you financed, even if you've been told no elsewhere, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, state tax paid when you buy this weekend. The inventory liquidation event Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Is there anything worse than a cold shower? How about water damage after a leaking water heater? If it's time for a new water heater, you deserve the best. Right now, take $150 off a new tank water heater, or upgrade to endless hot water with a tankless water heater and get $300 off. Don't settle for good when you can have the best. Schedule today at GoPascal.com. Professional people, professional service, Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
Fill your pots with golden deals all month long during our Lucky You sales event at the Crane Used Car Supercenter. Shop a great selection of Crane certified pre-owned vehicles as low as $279 a month with 0 down. And Lucky You will cash in every time with our exclusive Crane certification, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get low financing and buy with 0 down today at the Crane Used Car Supercenter of Fort Smith, U.S. Highway 71 South.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our temperature's not quite as cool. We'll manage the mid-50s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Few showers possible. An overnight low in the upper 30s. Showers especially early on Tuesday, especially across the north. That's where we see the most widespread rain. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Yes, sir. Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, Drew! Hey! Hey!
Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And into hour number 3 of halftime on this fantastic Monday. It's a great day to be doing sports radio in the state of Arkansas. Hogs have moved on to the Sweet 16. Baseball's rolling. Got a women's NIT game later tonight. Got a chance to cheer for and honor the national championship women's and men's track teams.
How cool is that, right? Yeah.
Saturday
track
and Sunday,
capital of the
both
world
teams
right
got
there.
up on the dugouts and had a chance to call the Hogs with the crowd. Very, very cool. And we get a chance to talk with you today here on Halftime. Calls and texts have been coming in all throughout the show. People are pretty fired up. 877-377-6963 to get with us. Do you feel, is it a letdown once the first round is over and you got to, you've had
only
4
if you're
days
Purdue.
of basketball from morning, noon, and night. Yeah, Purdue. Yeah, Purdue. Well, at least, like, Virginia's got this history of all sorts of disappointments in the NCAA tournament, but at least they've got the one natty. They got the one natty.
Yeah, that's
Purdue
right.
doesn't have anything. They maybe one Elite Eight under Matt Painter.
They got Glenn Big Dog Robinson. He used to was a Purdue Boilermaker. He's probably their best basketball player. I'm trying to think of their lineage of players. But
Konzo Martin played there too.
Yeah, they have a couple shooters every once in a while. That Brian Cardinal, he had his hair going. He looked like me and you, our haircut going when he was in college. You know, he played in the league for a little bit.
It's back when we'd had hair. That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Purdue, man, that is talk about a big fall. I mean, and congrats to Fairleigh Dickinson. I mean, you can talk about Purdue, this and that. FDU played great in that game. They really did. And to think
they'll remember that game forever.
That's a team. Everybody will remember that game. You know, just the same as UMBC when the win over Virginia. But I don't know if I see Purdue necessarily taking the route that Virginia did to a national championship.
No, that big guy's gone, huh? That you got to think
so.
He's gone, and they won a regular season championship, so they get to hang a banner, but it's still a letdown, man. When you're a 1 seed losing that first game, man.
Yeah, I mean, you've asked that question as we've gone throughout the season. Would you rather have the conference championship, the conference tournament championship, and a disappointing disappointing NCAA tournament?
Right.
Meaning, in this case, not even like if you're a 1 seed. If you're a number 1 seed and you don't make it to the Final Four,
if you don't make the Sweet 16, yeah. Well, yeah.
You should make the Sweet 16
right.
at that point. But if you're a 1 seed, like you've had the kind of season that you're going in and be like, all right, it's Final Four or bust, or at least that's the way it would feel for a program like Purdue that's, that hasn't had that kind of glory in gosh, forever. It's completely disappointing. I mean, you would absolutely give up that league championship to not be the answer to a
just to make
question.
a Final Four, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Fairleigh Dickinson, you want to be the answer to that trivia question. If you're Purdue, you would just rather it be something that's completely forgotten until the end of time, until the absolute end of time.
It's Devo madness. It's March Madness, man. It's here. It was a lot of fun, Phil. To answer your question, it's you're a little. You kind of need a breather. It's kind of intense. You kind of need a day or two off, and then by Thursday, man, it'll be ready to go again.
Ready to rev it up one more time, and then every game has its own television window. Thank goodness, you're not missing anything. You're not missing a darn thing. Let's recap a little more of this win over Kansas. First half slow start. It's a little surprising to know that they had such a slow start offensively. But really started to figure things out. How often has it been the other way around, with a really good first half and then slipping even more in the second half? Hopefully that turns around the narrative about the team that they have trouble holding on to second half leads, because they were the hunter for that entire second half, and hopefully if you build up a lead, you're able to hold it, but you feel pretty good. Like, I wasn't quite sure if this would be the team that could come back from, such a big deficit.
We haven't went 21 of 25 in our dream shooting free throws this year. So I'm with you, Phil. We haven't shown we've shown the grit, the determination, but we haven't made the shots, and that's what we were able to do. We were able to make free throws. We were able to get to the loose balls. But yeah, I was worried, Phil. The first 7 minutes of the game, I was a little worried. We had 2 points, and I want to say it ended up being 15-4 before we kind of started getting it going. But that was our lull. That was our drought. We got it out of the way early. I much rather get the drought out of the way early than doing it in the second half. And then Kamani. Man, I can't talk about this enough. The kind of the unsung heroes, kind of the guys that play 10, 20 minutes. They're not necessarily going to get the plays going for them, but they still make their imprint on the game, and that's what Kamani did in both those games, Illinois and the Kansas game.
Do you win another game with Nick Smith scoring nothing? Does he still start, or do you put Walsh into the starting
rotation?
You got
4 points.
Some of it depends on the situation with his knee. They said the knee was a little
First
bit
I'd heard about it. Yeah.
Right, they hadn't heard about that since he'd come back. But man, they looked really good without Nick on the floor. And he does deserve credit. I mean, it was.
Well, Kansas didn't play a lot.
Who was it that called in earlier that wanted to point out? Look, I mean, he had to be out there for the last minute 30. Devo gets all this glory, but he wasn't on the floor for I think it was the last minute 30, and Nick had to be out there defending and passing up. Moments where you think, well, maybe I get the glory now, and let it happen for somebody else.
I was a little worried, Phil, when Devo, you could tell that he was getting a little tired, getting a little wore down, and he made that slap at the ball foul around half court that kind of got him another foul right there. And I thought, man, that might come back and haunt him, because the way he plays defense, by his nature, he's going to have 3 fouls a game. That's just the way he plays. But yeah, Nick could have. He stayed the course, stayed in the offense. And the moment's not too big for this team, Phil. I mean, just the list goes on. We had to have everybody play good games and show up, and then you think Nick Smith is one of those guys that is going to have to show up for you. And maybe he can be the answer against UConn. Like you said, Jalen Graham could have a big game. Nick Smith could still score 20 in one of these games coming up. No question about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
but Ricky Council can too.
Well, Ricky Council is a guy that's at the forefront when you think about this team. Devo's on the forefront. Ricky Council's at the forefront. So is Anthony Black. Outside, like those three guys have been the consistent.
I think Anthony Black started every game this year.
That's right.
Yeah.
And well, Devo didn't. I think Black would be the only guy that started every game then, because Ricky came off the bench for a couple. So, but those have been the three constants as far as throughout most of the season. You know, I know Devo stepped away from the team briefly, but when he's been there, and he's a constant. So is Black. So is Council. It's like Kamani Johnson. There were games he didn't even play.
You didn't even know he's on the team. Yeah.
Nick Smith wasn't even on the team for a couple of weeks when they traveled. He was in Los Angeles, doing his own thing as far as that knee was concerned. Jordan Walsh has been inconsistent too. I mean, he's been a starter, but I think I like him coming off the bench a little more. But he's been a little more of a constant as far as the minutes are concerned. It's been a little up and down as far as how he's performed. But if you like X factors on a team, the sort of thing where if this happens, you have a better chance to win a game. Kamani Johnson is like at the top of that list right now. If Kamani can stay out of foul trouble, he's going to get you loose balls. He's going to get you rebounds that nobody else on this team is going to get you. And it's just a matter of how long you can stay on the court. So potentially part of that might be, and we had a caller earlier, comment on how he liked how the officials called the game. Kind of let him play. I mean, there were 47 fouls, but there was a lot of contact in that ball game. So hopefully, I don't know who's going to call the game on Thursday, but hopefully you let Kamani play and be himself.
And also, Phil, the one thing that I loved about Ricky's game, I know Devo did it too, but they didn't settle for outside shots trying to get the point. When we were down 8-9 most of the game, it wasn't, hey, man, let's hoist a lot of threes. It was those last 7-8 minutes, man, we attacked. We attacked and stayed aggressive. That was the reason we were able to win that game.
877-377-6963 to get with us. We have Connor O'Gara coming up in just a few moments. He would usually be talking about college football, but I think we're gonna dig in more to college basketball with him instead. Hey, when you get over, guess what's going on Thursday? It's not just the Sweet 16 for the Razorbacks, but also this Thursday is National Chip and Dip Day. And they've got something special going on at Twin Peaks to celebrate National Chip and Dip Day. Celebrate with the Triple Play house-made avocado smash, fire-roasted salsa and chipotle queso served with warm tortilla chips. And the best part is just $5 all day with any $10 purchase. That's at all the participating locations at Twin Peaks in Rogers. You can also visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com and order right there. You can get your Twin Peaks scratch favorites to go and enjoy it at home. But just get over to Twin Peaks because they've got televisions all around the restaurant. Games are blasting from every angle. Fantastic place to watch the Sweet 16 on Thursday. Twin Peaks and Rogers. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views. Much more to watch at Twin Peaks. Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South joins us on halftime after this.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Remember this top 10 hit from 1983? Boy George, I Think You've Got It. It's Church of the Poison Mind by Culture Club. The culture is continuing to poison the minds of our youth by clubbing them with everything but the truth. But when we heed God's word, He gives us the solution to all the gender confusion. The true poison is believing that evil is good and good is evil. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
When you stay overnight, you want the accommodations to feel comfortable and feel like home. Well, at Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, you get exactly that. You can check out all their locations at bphotels.com. They have locations in Fayetteville, Bentonville, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Conway, El Dorado, Arkadelphia, North Little Rock, Bryant, Hot Springs, Ardmore, Oklahoma, and coming soon to Kansas City. bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, looking forward to serving you in 2023.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality.
I am intrinsically no good. I have a heart that's made of wood, and I am only biding time, only reciting memorized lines, and I'm not fit to touch the hem of your garment. No, I'm not fit to touch the hem of your garment. Yeah.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Connor O'Gara with us on this Monday from Saturday Down South. Missed you last week, Connor, but it's good to have you with us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. It was a busy weekend. I was covering hoops down here in Orlando all weekend. A man of many hats I try and be for this company. Just out here writing ACC basketball columns, writing off Tennessee as well. I'm just trying to be the jack of all trades.
ACC basketball columns, huh? That sounds really exciting, writing about the ACC this year. Miami's all they got. Bit of a surprise down here for the ACC. Good thing you get to write about SEC basketball, though, Connor, right?
This is true. Now, to be clear, I was writing for our ACC site, SaturdayRoad.com, for those listening to this show and who are for some reason ACC fans. Definitely check it out. Best coverage there is in terms of ACC stuff. But it was actually an exciting weekend for the ACC because I got to see Virginia Furman in person. That game was incredible. Duke was a fun team to kind of be around. And even that Tennessee game was, that was a football game, it felt like. It felt like an SEC football game I was going to watch. But, let's be honest. The SEC has had a much, much better year than the ACC. I think that opportunity to be like the premier conference of March is very much on the table, especially considering Alabama looks like the prohibitive favorite now, especially after the first weekend. And Arkansas, who can't Arkansas beat if they're able to pull one out against Kansas team that were, they were leading by 12 in the second half of that game. And then even Tennessee, I think they feel a newfound confidence, and they might have the easiest path to the Final Four of any of those teams. So, you're right. The SEC looks like the premier conference right now, and Miami just so happened to beat my alma mater, and they beat them like a drum, and that didn't pain me at all.
That surprised me. I liked Indiana, that the big kid they had and their little guard, and I didn't think Miami. Oh well, Miami. What about Purdue? And Tennessee surprised me as well. The way they handled Duke, but what a letdown.
Wait on a moment here, Matt. Ask the Indiana alumni here, the Connor O'Gara, about Purdue. Because they're the ones that lose in the first round.
Well, Indiana kind of Amber Hearded the bed too. They definitely didn't do
anything.
Not
like that.
Yeah, but Purdue, whoa.
No, let's be honest. I apologize to the great listeners in Arkansas, throughout the entire state, because that sound that you heard on Friday night was me cackling. And boy, did I cackle loudly watching Purdue just somehow crap the bed against FDU. That was so satisfying because I've heard all year, oh, this is the best Purdue team of the 21st century. Zach Edey's an unstoppable force. The guards, they're a little bit all over the place. They'll figure things out in March. Matt Painter's finally going to get to a Final Four. Nope. Not only did that not happen, they suffered the second ever loss as a 1 seed in the first round. They lost to Indiana twice during the regular season. That was an oddly satisfying end. And despite the fact that, yes, Indiana lost last night, at least they won in the first round. At least they didn't have that massive embarrassment. I cackled. There are very few things at this stage of my life that can truly make me cackle while watching a sporting event. And I feel bad for the Purdue fans in my life, the good ones, not the ones who say, oh, do you want to meet an Indiana grad? Order a pizza. I'm not a believer in people that say that's other human beings, but there are those out there who did this. But I did see much enjoyment from my end watching the way things played out for Purdue.
I would have liked to hear your evil laugh. You're such a nice guy, Connor. I don't even know if you got a good one, but I'm sure with Purdue losing, it sounded just fine. So, another thing we can believe in is Arkansas playing in the Sweet 16, at least on an annual basis, while Eric Musselman is the head coach. Even in an up-and-down regular season, man, they found a way to gel in March. They found a way to gel in the tournament. They beat a team that had an up-and-down season in Illinois, but to take down the number 1 seed in this region, man, it's the same thing. I feel the same way about you. You beat Kansas, you can beat anybody else.
I think he's Tom Izzo South. I think that's what Eric Musselman is. That's what he is becoming very, very quickly. What I mean by that, because if you look at their career arc and all that, I'm not saying that those are totally different stories in terms of when they kind of came into their own at this level. But I mean it from this standpoint. There are coaches who can adapt to their team's personnel really, really well. And we talk about it in football all the time. Like, what does your team do well? Figure out those strengths and be able to kind of work with that. And what Eric Musselman has done with this team, which was, I think we could say, his most talented team on paper at least, is finally figure out, all right, what is the sauce to kind of get this team rolling and keeping all of these guys actively part of this team, even when they went through their struggles. I mean, you see the emotion from Devo Davis afterwards, who just had a whale of a game. And you knew if Arkansas was going to make a run in March, we were going to have at least one Devo Davis game. You knew that was going to happen. But you see the way that this team continues to respond, how calm they are under pressure. That's coaching. I mean, it can't not be coaching at this point. You see the way that they continue to rise to the occasion. And even 2 years ago, when that Baylor team who won it all, like, Arkansas gave them their best game in the Elite Eight 2 years ago, and I thought that run was really impressive. So, yeah, I mean, can't say enough about him. Eric Musselman's the best basketball coach in the SEC. I won't have it any other way.
Out of the two number one seeds left, Connor, Alabama and Houston, which one of them, they both play 5 seeds, which one of them has the best chance? You think they both make it to the Final Four?
I think they both make it, but, I mean, I'll say that, like, Miami's guards, boy, watching Isaiah Wong last night just torch my Hoosiers was crushing. And I think there is a path for Miami against that Houston defense, which has just been lights out, but, struggled a little bit early on. They sometimes went ugly. There's a path that Houston could lose that Sweet 16 game to Miami. But I'm kind of looking at Alabama saying that's a favorable road. At the same time, I think there will be a lot of people sleeping on San Diego State this week. I saw them play in person twice over the weekend. They look like a football team. Everybody was talking about Duke and Tennessee and the physicality of that game later in the day in Orlando. San Diego State has old dudes who look like they are built to play SEC football. I mean, they are going to be physical. They contest the three-point line extremely well. Alabama, we know, likes to shoot a lot of threes. They also can slow it down, but they like to play at that up-tempo pace. And, of course, Alabama defends really well. But I think Alabama has the more favorable path just because I think Miami can beat anybody on any given night. But I by no means think that's going to be a pushover.
Yeah, and then they would play Creighton or Princeton. What about Princeton, man? That back cut offense. I couldn't believe they handled Missouri like they did. I know, and all of a sudden, if you're Mizzou and you're thinking, man, we got a great opportunity here. This really opens up with Arizona losing in the first round. You see what Princeton's capable of, man. Like that's the thing about March. Like if a team wins a first round game, we should really just throw away. We should really just kind of throw away those seedings. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense at this stage of the game. Like you saw it last year with St. Peter's. I mean, they beat Kentucky in round one, and then they ended up beating Purdue as well. And it's like, forget about the seedings. Mizzou might have overlooked them a little bit. Pretty inexperienced Mizzou team that was playing with, a lot of guys who were like, this is their first March experience. And I thought it kind of showed, and you see some of the shot selection issues that they struggled with. So really nice year for Mizzou. But, yeah, Princeton just looks like a buzzsaw right now.
We forget about college football this week or last week too. I haven't paid that much attention outside of maybe some, stories out of Arkansas spring ball. Is there anything that happened in college football worth bringing up last week, or is it okay to, have a couple of weeks in a 52-week news cycle where the sport is just halfway forgotten about?
It is halfway forgotten about. I mean, it's weird. Like I very rarely, like you guys know me. I mean, we talk football like every single week. I try and stay dialed in 365 days a year. I truly pride myself on that. But yeah, I mean, we have hit that point in the calendar and where it is truly slow in terms of all things football. We've got a number change from Harold Perkins. That's of great significance. He goes from number 40 down to number 4. Might be the second best returning player in the SEC behind one and only Brock Bowers. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we're getting to that stage in camp, or we're about to, where we're going to start to see all these positive headlines about all these new offensive coordinators. Obviously, one of those residing in Arkansas as well, and Dan Enos, and that'll be kind of the storyline that we'll see a lot of. We'll see quarterback battle discussions. Kirby Smart's talking about who's going to replace Stetson Bennett. I guess that's a little bit significant, but man, other than that, not a ton really to want to dig into. If you want to dig into Steve Sarkisian saying that he thinks Arch Manning is going to compete for the starting job. I mean, go over dissect that if you will, but we're at a pretty slow time of the year in the college football calendar.
Who is Georgia's OC? I know Munkin left. Are they going to run, you think, a different type of offense, or do you think it's going to be real? I mean, there's so much talent there. They can run whatever offense they want. Who is their OC?
They made the internal promotion to Mike Bobo. The internal, they turned back time essentially and brought Mike Bobo into the role that he was in for a long time under Mark Richt. And that's a great question though, because I think there are people who, if you sold yourself on Mike Bobo being a smart hire, you sold yourself on that premise thinking, okay, they're just going to run what Todd Monken did, which was a lot of bunch tight end sets. They could spread you out. They could run tempo. They really did things that we didn't see the previous regime at Georgia do. And so I think there's this hope that Mike Bobo, who spent this last year as an analyst working for Todd Monken, that he's going to adopt all these principles. And I'm not necessarily sold that that's going to be a seamless transition when we know Mike Bobo had failed stints at Auburn and South Carolina, and he was very, very adamant that he didn't like running a lot of up-tempo offense. And he was getting Bo Nix to operate under center. I mean, these things that, you don't typically see. So, yeah, I think there are a lot of questions about Georgia. Georgia fans have sold themselves on talent will win out, and it doesn't really matter who's the coordinator. I am more of the belief that you can't just assume that it's all going to work out if you're trying to win a national championship, and it could be the difference in them winning a third consecutive title.
Connor, we'll leave it there, man. I appreciate you hopping on with us and talking mostly basketball, and we'll get into more football and basketball again next week. Have a great week.
Love it. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Connor.
Connor O'Gara, Saturday Down South with us here on Halftime. We got a couple of the callers lined up, and we got a lot of room for you over the next 30 minutes or so.
Feel that.
So we can what's that?
I was going to say that San Diego State-Alabama game, that's going to be a good one, man. I think San Diego State.
Aztecs,
I think I think San Diego State could get them.
I hope they do. If there's one team out of any of them left, I'll root for Texas over rooting for Alabama right now. All right, 877-377-6963. We got plenty of room for you. Hope you got room for us. We'll be right back.
ESPN Arkansas's live coverage at the Las Vegas Regional is presented by Mossback Fish Habitat. Whether it's a dock, lake, or pond, Mossback Fish Habitat can help you with all your fishery needs. Mock Legal Solutions. Visit mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule a free consultation. The Stadium Shop on Razorback. Sweet 16 gear available now. North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison, bringing better to you. And Red River Auto Group. Find all of our inventory at redriverdodge.com or redriverfordcabot.com.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, we'll go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The largest used car sales event in Fort Smith history is this weekend at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. 5 days only, Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson has combined the inventories from Sallisaw and Fort Smith with over 500 vehicles, deeply discounted for this weekend. Vehicles start at $49.95, state tax paid, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, bring your trade because nobody pays more than Harry Robinson. The inventory liquidation event. Special extended hours Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Shop Meadows Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Keep your home's pipes running smoothly with Zep's 64-ounce 10-minute hair clog remover for only $6.99. Give your plants the food they need with Green Thumb's Moisture Mix for just $3.49. Need a new garden hose? Green Thumb's Never Kink garden hose is now $25.99. That's a $10 savings. Complete your gardening kit with your choice of Fiskars, Bypass Lopper, or Hedge Shears for just $22.99 for a savings of $13. It's always good to keep some WD-40 on hand. Snag a 12-ounce can for only $7.49. Meadows Lumber True Value.
Right now, catfish is something special at Calico County. Whether you like it crispy fried, grilled, or blackened, all our catfish is currently available at a special price. They'll cook it the way you like it and serve it with 2 sides and rolls. You can also have their same great fish served on a hoagie roll with slaw and their own remoulade. The Catfish Po' Boy's on special as well. So roll on into Calico County for great catfish at a great price. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Monty Johnson telling Arkansas media today, I don't think anybody in here is satisfied. We're going to Vegas to get us 2 more. Yeah, the season's already a success, but I don't think anybody right now is satisfied with Sweet 16.
And to Connor's point, Phil, when you're saying you got a tournament coach, I know Tom Izzo's a heck of a coach, but Musselman's got to be on the short list of tournament coaches. I mean, how many of these other coaches are you taking over him? You know, man, when it comes to tournament basketball, he's up there.
Well, got to get to that Final Four first. I'm not taking away from anything he's done here, but that's the next step, right?
That's
the next step.
Yep.
Elite Eight. Next step is
Hey,
Final
with Devo
Four.
Davis out there, this team is going to go as far as Devo and Ricky take us.
We're going to go as far as Cody takes us right now. We got room for calls and texts, so now's the time. 877-377-6963. Good afternoon, Cody. How you doing?
Man, it's about as good of a Monday as I've had in a long time.
Get that right. Yeah. There is no one's got a bad case of the Mondays today.
No, sir. That was a heck of a performance. Devo Davis. I started thinking about this over the weekend. We've seen a lot of great performances. Your co-host, Mr. Jones, he put in some great performances, 7 overtimes, things like that. Darren McFadden. But what Devo did just as well ranks up there with him. That was greatness. And if Devo can stay on that level at all times and realize that that's within himself, I truly do believe that they can make it to a Final Four, man. That was impressive. Now, the only thing is, not only did Kansas have a tough matchup with Arkansas, but even if we win Thursday, that's a heck of a bracket, guys. That's some really
toughest one left, huh?
Get.
Yeah. Well, that one and that side, I think, yeah, Midwest and the West region are both the toughest ones left.
No doubt. That's unbelievable. Hey, Phil. So and I just couldn't be happier with the basketball team. That performance was awesome. Phil, how'd the baseball team end up doing this weekend? I know they won Friday night. That center fielder, Josenberger or something like that, and then Stovall's swing looks good. But we got some studs out there on the diamond, too. How'd we end up doing the rest of the weekend on the baseball field?
Yeah, they won Saturday 9-3 and then shut them out 5-0 on Sunday, so that's a series sweep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to see. I saw Smith come in out of the bullpen on Friday. He looked good. He had a lot of movement on his ball.
He did. He looked good. He looked like somebody that's ready to be a closer. The biggest thing for me this weekend was two things. Harold Cole at third base. I think he's your third baseman for now. Now the other guys, Holt, Callie, Jones, they need to be ready, at a moment's notice because who knows what can happen. But I think Harold Cole, who hadn't played any third base for Arkansas until this last week, looked like a guy who knows how to play the position. The other is Cody Adcock going out and throwing 6 scoreless. 6 scoreless on Sunday, and looked every bit of an SEC starting pitcher. So I think the wins were one thing, and that was great, but there were a couple of players that emerged at positions that they needed somebody to do that, and I take that from that weekend too.
Yeah, and I honestly believe, like even offensively with Stovall and the center fielder, there's some bats this year. I think it's Wagner as well, but I'm impressed with the baseball team. Dave Van Horn's doing what he always does, but it's a good time to be a Razorback, guys. And then also Jordan Walsh, heck of a defensive effort. He's a glue guy. But you guys have a good day, and it's a good day to be a Razorback, all right?
Hey, thank you very much, Cody. Listen to how many glue guys people have brought up. Like right now, the guys that came up big for you on Saturday are all glue guys. Like Devo is a glue guy. That's what Kamani is too. And that's what Jordan Walsh, that's how they play. It's anybody that hustles like that. It's not a matter of like leadership through saying anything to your teammates. Although that's part of it, but you say more with your actions than you do with your words. And when a baller goes out and plays the way that Kamani usually plays, as long as he's out of foul trouble, any ball player can get with the sort of effort that Jordan Walsh gives. Same with Devo. All 3 of those guys who came up huge on Saturday, they're all glue guys. I think sometimes we think of the 25 points that he scored, that Devo scored, but it's all the other things. Yeah, he scored when they needed points.
Nobody else was getting it done.
Not sure who else was going to do. Who else was going to step up in that sense?
Phil, you're right. If we would have went over the stats before the game, and you would have said Anthony Black's going to have 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, a block. Nick Smith is going to have 0 points. I'd have said, man, we're probably going to lose by 12. We'll probably lose by 13. Not the case. Devo stepped up. He read the room. He knew, man, it's going to be on my shoulders, and he stepped up and made the plays. And then all you need with Devo, Ricky, man, they feed off of each other so well. They really do.
Paul asked, do you think Devo's back next year? Yeah, I do think he's back.
He's back.
Next year.
I mean, he unless he wants to go to France and make a lot of money. I mean, it just depends on he's not going to the NBA next year. It's just what does he want to do? I'd rather do what he's doing now. I mean, that NIL sets him up for a good living, and I think that NIL could help sway some. I mean, was it you that brought up Michael Qualls saying that if we had the NIL, he might have stayed as well too? And so I think
I can't imagine he wouldn't have. He'd have made the money that he was looking for.
Absolutely, yeah.
Devo already, and I don't know all the companies that he's got deals with, but I mean, there's a major car dealership in Jacksonville that he signed with as soon as NIL became legal. He signed with them, and there's all sorts of do what you got to do to keep him here. And honestly, like I think he's here. I think he gets the COVID year.
He gets a 6 year.
His freshman year was 2020-21.
Okay.
And that was eventually viewed the same way because you had all of those precautions and there could have been canceled games. So I think he could have. I'd have to double check.
But that's why
I know there's at least one more year. I think there could be another 2 years for Devo.
And that's why Ricky could come back if he wanted to for the COVID year. Yeah.
Right.
You could get Ricky, Devo, and Jordan Walsh all coming back.
877-377-6963. So you look ahead. You want to look ahead for a moment? I think it's okay. Let's say you beat UConn. It can happen. Maybe it will. Maybe it should. You ready for a rematch with Gonzaga next week? Later on this week on Saturday?
I'd rather play Gonzaga than UCLA. I think UCLA's they're one of the short. Like if you're to say 3 teams that could win the title, UCLA is one of those 3. I think that's going to be a great game.
UCLA beating UNC Asheville, it's a team we've seen this year, and then Northwestern, and Gonzaga beat Grand Canyon and TCU. Hey, either one of them be a tough matchup.
Absolutely.
You already have the tournament history with Gonzaga from last year. You got tournament history with UCLA from like 26 or 27 years ago, so it should be pretty good either way. First things first, get past UConn. Get past UConn. Maybe we've got to try to get Aaron Torres on the show Thursday. The game is in Vegas. AT joins us every Friday, and he was going to call it the Aaron Torres Bowl. He's already got his bachelor's degree from UConn, and he joked that he's got an honorary degree from Arkansas. I didn't give him an honorary degree from Arkansas, did you?
I thought you were going to say he's got his bachelorette party on Thursday, so he might.
He's not going to be in Vegas either, so I wonder why he lives in L.A. I don't know why he wouldn't have.
We got to get him on Thursday then, yeah, instead of Friday. Absolutely.
Scott texts in. He says Council and Walsh will be drafted. Not in the first round. Jordan Walsh is not going in the first round this year.
I don't know that Ricky's going in the first round. He's a great college player that I wonder about him going to the next level. Man, they can all dribble. They can all shoot at the next level. His outside shot's not good enough. I
don't trust either of their outside shots to be NBA quality.
No, not the range. His mid-range is up there. But I mean, his skill set, he needs another year, man.
Randy asks if you think Nick Smith is still a lottery pick. As of now, he doesn't think so.
His knee worries me, Phil. That's what it's the first part we're talking about. Right now I'm taking Anthony Black over anybody on this team for the next level. Like if I had a pick and you had to choose one of these Razorbacks who's going to have the most successful career, it's Anthony Black. 6'8" point guard that can do everything. I mean, he's going to work on his shot and it's going to come around. Nick Smith, there's a lot of 6'4" swing guards that can do what he can do. Brandon Miller's one of them. Every team has a guy like that.
Well, I think Ricky and Walsh could be second-round picks if they went this year. With that idea, they need to come back to Arkansas.
Make him stay. Right, make him worth it, Phil. That's the NIL. Arkansas should do what they can to keep him because, man, with those guys, Devo, Ricky, Walsh, and you're adding a couple guys, that's another Sweet 16 type of team right there next year. Maybe even a Final Four.
Brian in Ozark, you're on halftime. Thanks for the call. How are you?
I'm doing well. You guys?
Great, man. Great.
Man, I watched that Arkansas game, and it was enjoyable to watch, even though I don't think Kansas played its best game by any means. They went 5 minutes with no points or something?
It kind of reversed, huh? They jumped out to that big lead and kind of had a little lull. Yeah, kind of what Arkansas had did a couple times.
What I'm getting at is, Texas destroyed Kansas the last 2 times they played. And, I mean, my ideal game, I would love to see Arkansas and Texas meet in the Final Four, although I don't think Arkansas can beat Texas. What do y'all think about that? I'll hang up and listen.
When I watched a little bit of Texas play, they seem a little soft, a little slow. They can shoot better than Arkansas, but I'm not sold on. I know Phil's a little higher on Texas than I am. I think Texas is. I'd have UCLA and Gonzaga both over Texas.
Wouldn't that be kind of fun, though, for Arkansas and Texas to play an exhibition game with all sorts of mystery surrounding it
and then play a Final Four game?
And then play in the
That'd
Final
be sick.
Four?
That'd be sick.
Talk about extremes. That would be pretty extreme. Brandon and Paris, let's just convince them all to come back. Hey, I'm good with that too. I'm good with why not all of them come back. And I think Nick will be one and done. I think Anthony Black will be one and done. But I think Ricky, who knows what his advisors are saying, but I don't think he's a first-round pick right now. Whether that means he'd be a first-round pick the next year,
probably not. But that's okay. It's okay,
probably
man.
Not.
He can be a great college player and not be an NBA guy. That's he might get in there and get a 10-day and kind of bounce around a little bit, but it's just a different world. That next level, it's next. He's a little undersized for the next level to not be able to have that range. He needs more range.
But NIL changes it, man. Now you actually have some. College has leverage to keep players there, especially in places like Arkansas.
And selfishly, Phil, I want to see him in a Razorback uniform another year, playing meaningful games,
too.
you know? I mean, you don't want to see him with the San Francisco 49ers playing G League games.
Hey, we got to wrap things up. We'll come back and say goodbye on halftime after this.
Out of the blue, she reaches for you, and you tell her you don't have the time. So you move away fast, but you know it won't last, 'cause you can't get her off of your mind. Thoughts are burning, turning, they're turning around. How do you know when to stay or to go? And how do you know when it's real? You don't need a sign to make up your mind. You got your heart at the wheel. You want to start sharing, caring again.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Fill your pot with golden deals all month long during our Lucky You sales event at the Crane Used Car Super Center. Shop a great selection of Crane certified pre-owned vehicles as low as $279 a month with zero down. And Lucky You will cash in every time with our exclusive Crane certification, including a 100-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Get low financing and buy with zero down today at the Crane Used Car Super Center of Fort Smith, U.S. Highway 71 South.
Unforgettable moments, legendary players, college baseball's best fans, postseason pilgrimages to Omaha. There's nothing like Arkansas Razorback baseball. Spring is here, and head coach Dave Van Horn and the Hogs are back at Baum-Walker Stadium to open up the 2023 campaign. If you have tickets, make sure they're being used or transferred to a friend. If you need tickets, Hog Pen tickets are now available online. We'll see you at Baum-Walker Stadium.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drains, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. You have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, wrapping things up on halftime with a pretty quick segment. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast will be ready to go shortly when the show is complete. Always appreciate Maddie's effort on that, plus the music, which sounds easy to choose all the time, but trust us, it is not easy to choose all the time.
If you heard a little bit of low audio there, so I was trying to play a clip, but I couldn't get the audio loud enough. It was Charles Barkley the other night talking about Uncrustable sandwiches, and I just thought that was perfect because I know Phil's a big fan of those.
Favorite pregame.
How many of those you eat a week, Phil?
As
10?
many
You get a
Razorback
dozen in
baseball
you?
games. No, as many Razorback baseball games as there are.
Little superstitious, huh? Yeah.
Eating one before each game, and it gives me the fuel I need to have a good broadcast.
I love
so
it.
I'm not eating. It's if you eat too much, if I eat the carnitas tacos at Bone Walker before a game, I'm going to end up like burping on the
Can't
radio.
eat.
I don't want to do that.
But right before game time, man, you got to stay light on your feet. You're exactly right.
I
Phil.
can't be eating hot dogs with pickle relish and onions and all the condiments with it. Do you want
a nice
me to,
chili dog?
You got to fumigate the booth
Little
after
coney,
the game
little
when
cheese,
that's done.
chili cheese coney dog.
The Uncrustables, or as Bubba likes to call them, Crustables, which is actually the opposite of what they are good, simple, 250 calories, and I won't belch on the air. And you don't have to fumigate the booth when it's all done. And Dave Van Horn eats one before every game, too. So whatever he thinks will work for him can work for me as well.
Phil, it was fun
it's not
today.
Superstitions. It's a matter of what it is that makes us feel comfortable to have a good broadcast. Good stuff today. Good stuff today, Matt Jones, Matt Travis, always. And appreciate our listeners for all your energy today. Let's just keep it going for the rest of the week as we get you set for the Sweet 16. Good luck to the women's basketball team tonight. Women's NIT against Stephen F. Austin, 7 o'clock tip. Going to be a good game. And we'll recap it all tomorrow when we're back with you for another award-winning edition of Halftime. For Matt Jones, for Matt Travis, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.
The people have voted.